think, I probably screwed that up.
You want me to do that? All right. Hey, welcome.
Wait,
We are so good at this.
This is live streaming.
Yes.
Fail.
Wait, it's a total fail. Welcome to another episode of the Northwest Brewmeisters. We're two guys who like beer, and
I think you should too.
my name's Jamie,
I'm Steve.
and we're gonna brew today beer.
You don't say.
I know. That's what we. We could be brewing tea.
I know. We could be brewing tea. Why would we do that?
That's so ridiculous. Brewing tea.
Brew tea.
Yeah, I mean, okay. You know what? I apologize to my good English friends who might.
Actually, tea is a big part of their culture. Yeah.
It is true. When I went to England, I drank tea on purpose.
Right.
I also drank coffee because addictions, but I also drank tea, and it was good. It was actually good. It's
Right.
I liked it.
But this isn't Northwest Tea Meisters. This is Northwest Brewmeisters.
Well, actually, brewmeister doesn't mean it
True.
just means brewing. We could be brewing potions, like take over the world potions. Never know, turn you into a llama potions and feed it to some sort of South American indigenous emperor. Turn
Wow.
you into a llama.
That was oddly specific.
Yes. You're not catching the reference?
It's a movie, I believe. Disney movie, isn't
Oh
it?
my gosh. Emperor's New Groove?
Yeah.
Yeah, the South.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, man. Just tell them what we're brewing.
All right, down to business. Today we are brewing a recipe called Southern Cross IPA. And the Southern Cross reference is related to the constellation in the Southern Hemisphere. Like if you're in Australia or New Zealand area, you can see that constellation. And the reason they call this Southern Cross IPA is because it's a session IPA with Australian and New Zealand hop varieties. Sounds interesting already.
It does.
So, and for good measure, they even whirlpooled counterclockwise. Yeah. So the original gravity is 1.049. Final gravity will be 1.012. ABV is 4.87%, so it's not too strong, hence a session. And the IBUs will be 58, so it'll be mildly bitter. Kit inventory, that's not inventory. Steeping grains, half pound of Crystal 10 and half pound of Cara Pills. And these nicely packaged in our muslin sock here. Our extracts are 3.3 pounds of Pilsen liquid malt extract and 3.3 pounds of Bavarian wheat extract, which are sitting outside here, staying warm.
In the sun.
In the sun.
In the sun.
So this batch actually has 4 different hops in it, 4 packs of hops. So hop packs 1 and 2 are half ounce of Galaxy. The first one will go into the 60-minute boil, in the 60-minute point of the boil. The second will go into the 30-minute point of the boil. Hop pack 3 is a summer hop, and hop pack 4 is a Waimea, which we will be whirlpooling for 15 minutes, and we'll get to that later. What that means. This is a new process for us. We've actually not done this kind of brew process before, so
We're up to the task.
should be fun. Yeast is a first choice white yeast, 1056 American Ale, so it's kind of your standard run-of-the-mill yeast. And we are not bottling, so we don't have to worry about the bottling primer. So the first part of our process is going to be identical to everything you've seen the last, 20, 15 times we've done this.
What we're gonna do tonight, Briggs?
I know, right?
We always do, okay?
That's insanity, Something about doing this thing over and over again, expecting change.
But we don't expect change. We expect the same. So we're not insane. We're
Right.
insane. Right there.
I'm gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with our usual 3 gallons of water. Today we're not using tap water because I didn't have bottles. They ended up getting mixed up somewhere else, so I just went and bought some water off the shelf from the supermarket. And this is just some basic, I think, spring water or drinking water. So it's not purified. It's not, there's nothing's done to it to the best of my knowledge. So
He's being nice. All the bottles are at my house. I forgot to bring them all back. I suck.
just keep them. I'll just keep these.
Okay.
Since you guys have to pretty much rely on refilling those bottles on a regular basis. So.
Dude, we have so many bottles. We need to probably need to
Or
get some
recycle them or whatever. But yeah, I'll just keep these here for brew days here and then carry on smart with them.
Hey, can you tell them what we're making?
Oh, no, I didn't. So today we have.
You're closer to the camera.
Today, commercially, we're drinking the Mac and Jack African Amber Ale. If you guys can see that, and try to. There we go. So this is pretty common, especially around here in the Northwest. people like it, so we like it. Reason we're drinking this today is we brewed our own clone version of this beer, and so we're going to compare them and live during this stream to see how well we did or whatever.
Exactly.
But we're automatically going to favor ourselves because it's us. But
That's right.
Still, we'll see how it comes out.
We're honest though. I mean, if ours sucks, then we'll be like, yep, that was a fail.
It's like it didn't match their beer, but it's our own version of an amber, and we like it. So
Right. Well, there's the whole, you can like stuff in different,
right.
But at the same time, you can say honestly, it's like, this is good, but it is nothing like what we just drank. This is true.
True. Appreciate it. And we have an aim flame again.
Nice.
We're not gonna have to worry about singed knuckles or eyebrows or arm hairs or anything. Can you have me that water, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Just watch you do all the work here. I'm just gonna hold this.
It's okay. Whoa.
What is this?
A lock maybe or something? I don't know.
Ha! All right, works. Flexi nozzle. Nice. So nice.
All right, there's our 3 gallons of water. Oh, we have an important decision. Are we gonna cold steep or steep at temp? Do.
Let's start the flame, and then we'll just put the stuff in there, and then we'll chat, and then once it hits, then we'll be good.
So cold steep.
Yes.
Okay.
Is this on?
No, nothing's set up yet.
All right. Flame on.
Flamage. We have the fire.
So, do you get as much amusement as I do about the fact that we sit in a closed garage burning fossil fuels which produce carbon monoxide for 3 hours?
Interesting. The door's open. We're okay.
Okay.
It's like, I think during the winter months, we actually were brewing with the door closed.
Yep. And we survived. No cherry red nail beds, no blue lips, no headaches or
No
nausea.
headaches.
Probably because beer fights it off.
Yeah, beer is like that. Fortifies us, you know what I mean?
Makes you immune to carbon monoxide poisoning. I believe that. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's get our grain muslin sack set up here with our half-pound Crystal 10 and our half-pound Carrot Pills. All right, here we go.
That's it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to raise that a little bit. I already know it. Just flip it over. There we go.
Got it?
No, it's perfect.
All right.
All right, so as usual, for anybody who's watched this before, we are gonna start our steeping timer, which will be 30 minutes once the water gets somewhere between 150 and 160 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is kind of, this process is very redundant for anybody new tuning in, but it's part of the fun because it gives us time to talk about things and hopefully entertain you. Are you not entertained?
I don't know. We've had 2 viewers.
Really?
Yes. 2.
Wow.
And neither one of them was us.
That's funny, man.
Well, if you remember some of our first episodes, is this working? And we'd log into
It's us.
It's us. It's like, how many viewers? 19. How many are us? 19.
19, right? All of them
Okay,
are us.
18 plus your nephew, who hasn't showed up yet. What the heck, man?
Yeah, I don't know. He might be doing other things today. I don't know. I haven't seen him all week, so.
He is like, how old is he?
12?
12? Yeah, not exactly his kind of program.
No. I mean,
Gotta give him props for
he
supporting
might
him.
be racing because he does motocross.
Oh, that's
so
right.
He might be. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm like the last to know all these things, but that's okay. All right. Well, here we go. Let's talk a little bit more about our process
Well,
here.
tell me what a session ale is. Because we didn't know what a session ale was. You bought those session ales, remember? Have we talked about that? Have we explained to you what a session ale is?
We did because we during the last broadcast we were drinking those all day IPAs
Ah, yes.
from Founders.
All day being that you can drink them all day.
Right, because there's low ABV beers, kind of like what this is going to be in the end, and so you can enjoy a few and not have to worry about getting buzzed too quick, you know. So
slurring or falling over,
right, all the fun things,
good stuff. Randomly finding yourself naked in a field.
Contrary to what might be popular belief, Jamie and I actually don't drink just to get drunk. I mean, we drink to have fun, and the buzz part, that's a good side effect, you know. So, but our purpose isn't just for the buzz. We actually enjoy each other's company. We love talking about beer. We love drinking beer. We love making beer.
We're about the flavor.
And the flavor of the beer. Flavor. And then we get all judgy about the beers, you know.
Yes. Judgy. Wait, we don't or we do? I missed that.
We do.
We are judgy. We're judging you.
But we're always biased for our own beers.
Judgy brewers judge you.
Judgy brewers judging you.
I don't know. It was better with Judgy Cat. I like Judgy Cat. Judgy Cat is judging you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You really need to log into Facebook again. Set up a fake account just so you can know all these memes that I reference.
No, thank you.
Out of the loop. Out of the loop.
No, thank you.
Out of the loop. Join. You will be assimilated. It's like the Borg. Oh, you know what I was talking about today at church? The Borg? Well, kind of. Not really the Borg.
All our Star Trek fans are like, yes!
So no, what we were talking about was
this.
this.
Getting really hot.
Do you need to move it? Or?
Well, I'm trying to equalize it a bit more.
Where you want to go?
A little bit. Just a little bit. Hurry up.
That burns. That's.
Yeah, I told you it was hot.
You meant that side, not the outside.
No, the handle is getting hot because the heat wasn't kind of evenly on there. But anyway, tell us about what your discussion was at church.
Well, so it obviously wasn't like, this wasn't the homily. It's like, welcome to church where we talk politics. It's like, I thought we were supposed to be here for God. Well, yeah, but first, let me tell you about Mark Zuckerberg.
Jeez.
But it was kind of about Mark Zuckerberg. So obviously, you know, you've got all these things, cancel culture and the woke mob, and then you've got big tech platforms censoring but not censoring, trying to dance that line. Because, you know, if they censor too much, it's like, okay, now you're a publisher,
right.
Now we regulate you. But if they don't censor enough, then the woke mob comes after them, and then I don't know why they're even afraid of the woke mob, to be honest.
Right.
I mean, those people scream and yell, but the truth is, everybody recognizes them for what they are at this point. So, if I were a business, I would ignore them. Anyways, the big thing is we're talking about how certain people, you know, like certain big profiles, you know, obviously Trump being one of the biggest and stuff, have just kind of effectively been banned from not just one platform, but all the platforms.
All the platforms?
Yeah. Amazon won't use them, let them use AWS, Twitter bans their accounts, Facebook bans their accounts, right? I mean, they are like, and Google just, so YouTube and everything, Google, they can't get off there. And as they're talking, I was like, you know what it really is like, because the guy I was talking with, he talked about monopolies. He was like, yeah, we've got this problem with monopolies again. And I said, actually, we don't have a problem with monopolies. What we have is a big tech cartel.
Okay, makes sense.
And think about it. So a cartel is like ostensibly competing organizations, but like the heads or at the top level, they'll all get together in a room and say, okay, we are going to do this as an industry.
Why? They're like cooperative with each other.
Right.
Even though they're competing.
So they're technically competing, but in reality they aren't. And if you really think about it, so Facebook and Twitter are competing, but they're not. Because the kind of customer is kind of like, I guess it's kind of like McDonald's and Arby's are competing. You know, because Arby's is the big for the roast beef sandwiches and things like that. Not so much burgers, right?
Right.
So McDonald's, you know, even though they have this crazy menu with weird foods like the McRib, which has no ribs in it. Chomp. That
was part of that old Big Rib commercial.
Oh, that's right. So you don't have Facebook, I don't have TV. So we're both technologically.
It was like a 90s commercial. I just remember from the 90s.
Yeah, I didn't.
I rarely watch TV, honestly. TV for me is like late at night after the family's gone to bed, and I might put on Netflix and then fall asleep. So that's right. That's TV for me these days.
So, but in any case, so each of these companies kind of competes, but they don't, right? So Amazon has AWS,
right?
Which I guess would be competing against Google's Firebase stuff, right?
Well, not just Firebase, but Google's compute platform, and then also another competitor would be Microsoft Azure. Just cloud platform services that are all competing with each other, in one business.
And Google does a lot of advertising, but Google doesn't have a marketplace the same way Amazon does. with their big storefront marketplace. Although I hear that really is like almost a loss leader for Amazon, where they really make their money is in that cloud stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I hear. I don't know.
Consumerism.
Right. But the point being
Retail.
is that Facebook and Google don't really compete. They do, but they don't. If you think like, at least they're front-facing products, what people think of. When you think of Google, you think web search.
Search engine, yeah. Even though they do so much more, yeah, you think search engines.
But that's kind of where your brain goes. When you think Facebook, you think Facebook.
Social media, yeah.
Right? Exactly. Social media. When you think Amazon, you think giant phallically shaped rockets, I guess. All right, that was a bad
No,
joke.
I think evil. No, I'm just kidding. No, I hear when I says Amazon, I have two thoughts. I think largest retailer type thing, which I don't know if they actually are, but you know,
Right.
And then they're cloud services, you know. So.
Right. And I think a lot of people don't think they're cloud services.
Right. They think, oh, that's where I get my clothes. And my
Yep, that's where I buy this. And if you're a business owner, you think they're the enemy, you know. And
Yeah.
if you're a consumer going for the bottom dollar, you think, you know, they're the best place to go, you know. And then you can be a really jerk consumer and walk into a brick and mortar store and say, I can get it at Amazon for this. And that's when a good business owner will say, get it at Amazon. Goodbye.
Buy at Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's kind of, that is like the most jerk thing you can do, if you ask me.
Right.
Go into a brick and mortar store and say, I can get it here for this. It's like, that's great. But you know what Amazon won't do? They won't talk to you for half an hour helping you figure out what you need.
Yeah, true.
You know, you're not going to diagnose your truck or your recipe via Amazon. You know, you either know what you need and get it, or you don't, and then you can just guess, and maybe it's wrong. But I've gone far afield. So the point was, he was talking about monopolies, and I said, no, but we don't have a monopoly problem. What we have is a cartel problem, where all these groups, these big tech groups, the big power players, they get together, and I don't know exactly how tightly colluded, how tight the collusion is, but I mean, this is true collusion. This is the whole Russian thing, the whole thing. That was fun and games and a media circus to just keep us distracted, if you ask me. But this is true collusion. I mean, these guys, they're getting together saying this is how this
They're stacking the
operates.
deck, you know. So.
Right. You know, and I mean, there's other groups, the Russians and OPEC, or is Russia part of OPEC?
I don't know. I don't know if they are or not, man.
I know they talk with OPEC,
Right.
you know, but OPEC is another one because these are all ostensibly competing oil producers, right, in the Middle East. And then they get together and they say, we're doing this with oil prices. It's like, everybody reduce production because we want prices to go up. It's like, everybody increase production. We need prices to go down so people buy more, et cetera, you know.
Right.
And so it is. There's lots of cartels. I mean, the Mexican drug cartels are just a small example. Do you know there used to be cheese cartels?
Cheese cartel. Huh?
Cheese cartels, very much so. And it was exactly where you think of, like over in Switzerland. You know,
that makes sense.
You know, like those Bavarian nations place, you know, where there's lots of cheese.
Right.
And yeah, they did exactly that. They would get together and they would be like, these are the cheeses that are acceptable for the world.
Ah, okay.
None of this other stuff that you're making is cheese. You can't even sell it, right? And eventually, well, obviously we have just thousands of kinds of cheese. There's almost as much cheese as there is beer, man. There's so many kinds of
have to
cheese.
try them all, just like the beers.
Oh, I could be so fat, dude. I'm gonna have to start like walking.
I think next to beer, I think cheese is my second favorite food out there. I love cheese, man.
I am a huge cheese guy.
Like especially like gourmet cheeses and stuff. Oh, man.
You know the whole Lent thing, the Lenten fast. That is the hardest part of that.
Yeah, right.
I can give up meat. I can give up eggs. Give up all that stuff. No cheese. I'm just like, this sucks.
But you can drink beer.
I can drink beer. Technically, I can only drink beer on the weekends.
Hmm.
But I can drink beer on the weekends.
True. That's good though. That's a good thing.
It is a good thing. Because beer is proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy. So anyways, that was just a discussion we had, you know, after the services during the coffee hour after church. The whole, it's like there's this collusion thing going on with these big companies. Found it interesting. You know, I have no proof of it, but it does
Right.
seem like,
Seems like it.
you know, I guess the name that the guy that I was talking with, the name he brought up was this guy, Nick Fuentes. Have you ever heard of Nick Fuentes?
No, does it ring a bell?
Should we stare at each other trying to remember, or should we actually use the power of the internet?
Use the
that's in our
power of the
hands?
internet.
All right, man.
And we'll look him up because I don't know who he is. So if you don't know who he is, I don't know who he is. The internet will know who he is.
Anyways, he's some sort of commentator, right wing, or at least conservative. Very blunt from what this guy was saying.
Oh, okay.
He said he speaks very politically incorrect, and I think what he really meant by that is that he doesn't, you know, candy coat what he was saying or like take a soft approach. He just throws it in your face.
Just gets it out there.
Huh. It auto-failed with Nicki Minaj. Why would I want to look up Nicki Minaj? My computer is not as smart as, you know,
They say it should be.
they say it should be. I just made a tweet just earlier today because I have some friends and quote unquote friends, right? I actually do have a couple that are actual friends. As close as, but they're all online acquaintances, right? So people I get along with, you know, never drank a beer with them. But on Twitter, I follow a lot more people that I don't know because Twitter is a much different, you know, for me.
It's less personal. You know?
Well, yeah, and my engagement on Twitter is a completely different type of engagement. You know, my private Facebook profile is one thing, but then you've got my public Facebook page, and then you've got my Twitter, which are completely different. Anyhow, I was typing something in Spanish, and I'm typing it because I know how to write in Spanish. I don't speak that great, but I can write for sure. Yeah. And it kept auto-correcting to English words. It's like, so my tweet was, "Dear iPhone, if I, a mere human, can learn to speak Spanish, I'm sure you can too."
Right?
So frustrating. I get it. I'm sure
You probably have to go to your settings and like change your language to Spanish, you know, that way it doesn't try to.
Yeah, or just turn autocorrect off. I know you can.
Oh, yeah, you can do that too, I'm sure.
Oh, Nicholas Joseph Fuentes is an American far-right and white nationalist political commentator and live streamer who has endorsed white supremacist beliefs.
Okay.
Fuentes has described himself as an American nationalist, Christian conservative, and paleo-conservative, and has also expressed anti-Semitic views. Interesting.
Paleo? I don't get the context there. I mean, when I hear paleo, I think like ancient. You know what I mean?
That's kind of what I think too. So
like paleontologists.
Yeah, right. Fuentes has feuded with Turning Point USA and its founder, Charlie Kirk, for supporting views that Fuentes believes to be insufficiently conservative. Wow.
Okay.
On October 29th, 2019, Fuentes followers, known as Groypers, began heckling Turning Point's Culture War Tour. All right.
Sweet. 120, by the way.
So, I don't know enough about him, and I'm certainly not going to use a Wikipedia article to judge a guy. I mean,
right.
Because again, collusion, cartels. But I'm sure there's more. I'm sure there's harder stuff out there. You know, like I'm always, when they start throwing around the white nationalism, nationalist accusations, I'm always like, man, it's just too, it's too buzzwordy and too cliche.
Gotcha.
You know.
Gotcha.
So in any case, if he is all those things, then I guess it's not such a bad thing that he got banned, but it still doesn't change the fact that they all got together and said, this is what we decide.
Right.
You know, and in which case, if you ask me, then I think there's a strong argument saying you are publishers.
Gotcha.
And as publishers, you should be regulated.
Regulated, yeah.
You
How's
know?
your beer?
Not as empty as it could be, but not as full as.
Mild hint there, you know. No, I'm just curious. Once we finish these beers, we're gonna pour out of our keg and try for the first time the Mac and Jack, embryo clone that we made. So.
Oh yeah. So do you find this a little sour?
No.
No, not at all.
No, it tastes fine to me. I mean, there's some kind of finish, but it doesn't feel sour to me though.
No, it doesn't taste sour to me.
Like in a bad way, or
Not necessarily in a bad way, but just kind of like tart.
is it different than when we had those Mac and Jacks a few weeks ago?
Yeah, it
It
doesn't.
is?
It
Okay.
doesn't seem. Maybe I just should have brushed my teeth before I came over here.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't
Did you eat something earlier? I mean,
Well, of course.
Oh,
I
you tried
had
to
lunch.
lunch, the luncheon thing, yeah.
had lunch and drank coffee.
Maybe that's kind of changing your taste a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I had lunch earlier too, but I don't taste anything sour.
Okay. We'll see what this one tastes like. If that one tastes like this one tastes, then maybe I'm just going crazy.
No.
Who knows? Who
Tastes like an
knows?
amber to me.
Sounds good. So anyways, it's just an interesting thing. I mean, people can, it's a strange argument. It's like how far do you restrict what would be considered rights in the interest of safety or comfort or whatever? I think there's a strong argument that can be made about the power of social media versus the older traditional media.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before you could throw something in the editorial column of the New York Times and a certain amount of people would read it, a lot of people wouldn't, but nobody could clip that and share it with
A million people.
a million people
Instantaneously.
instantaneously. That couldn't happen,
Right.
You could clip it, and if you were really dedicated, maybe you'd find a Xerox copier and
Right.
mail it to people.
Right.
But as far as this instant flame that just takes off, I mean, that just doesn't happen. I mean, it didn't happen in the 90s.
Right.
Even you remember the old horrible chain emails?
Yes.
Even the funny ones and stuff, and people would send them around and around and around.
Just for fun, yeah.
I mean, even that was, compared to how fast social media is. I don't know. I'm more of a Wild West guy, though. It's like, fine, you are merely a platform.
I don't even care about it. So.
You should back up. You should care. You should care. This is
Not
your
about
freedom at
social media.
stake.
Well, I guess it's not that I don't care about social media. I just don't care about Facebook as a platform.
Oh no, I understand that. And actually,
Yeah.
talking about Facebook as a platform, that's kind of narrow, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to broadening the scope to this concept of making rules, because anytime you make a law, you've impacted a freedom in some way or another.
Sure.
And then of course the question always has to be, was that absolutely necessary? And different people have different limits. I mean, there are some people, there really are, there are some people that would live almost in slavery if it meant that they were safe all the time.
Right.
I mean, they really would. They would let people tell them when to wake up.
Stuff, yeah.
They would let people tell them when to go to bed. They would let people tell them where to go as long as they were safe. And it's like, just give me my 1 hour of really bad sitcom TV every night and I'll be happy and I'll do this because they would be safe. It's like, we're going to give you food. We're going to keep the lights on. We're going to keep your house warm. But you have to do what we say in order to do that. And there are some people on the other extreme of things that would rather die than have any of that put on them. It's like, I would rather die in the wilderness than sacrifice my freedom because you give me whatever. I don't want a house, I don't want a fire, I don't want a sandwich, I don't want water, I don't want anything from you.
Sure, I understand that. Yeah.
I mean, and that's an extreme, of course.
Right.
I mean,
it's two different extremes,
I mean, it is, and the truth is that there are people that have survived, but there's something to be said that humans, as a creature, we do better as a herd.
Right.
I mean, it's just we do better as a herd. It's nice to have protections. I mean, because there's bad humans. That's the problem.
True.
Bad humans.
There are bad humans.
So if we get lots of good humans together and the bad humans show up, then maybe we have a chance.
Yeah, the good humans that group up tend to protect each other,
Yes.
as best they can. So.
And the bad humans, because they're bad, often will betray each other. And that's how the good humans win.
Right. True.
Unless,
They might collude for a little bit, but then when the other bad person doesn't bring any value in it of any form, then yep, you're gone. You're no longer my partner, you know? Yeah.
it's like the two hitmen walking out into the woods late at night. And the one hitman says, man, it is creepy out here. And the other hitman says, you think it's bad? For you, I gotta walk back alone.
What?
What?
Almost there, 143. And if you've noticed, I've slowly kind of been creeping it.
Just playing with it?
Just so it stabilizes, doesn't keep getting hotter and hotter, even though we're trying to achieve, a certain temperature range, so.
Well, you will. You'll overshoot your mark. It's like, oh, look, we're at 180 degrees.
So it might take a little bit longer to get there, but the fact is you're gonna stabilize there, and that's what we're trying to achieve with this.
It's because you're good at this.
So.
I'm just along for the ride. I'm the pretty face. I'm the pretty face.
You're the orator.
I'm the what? I'm the orator?
Orator,
Is it orator?
Orator, I don't know.
What was that? What was that video we watched?
But
The word the guy was saying. What word was he saying?
Oh, I don't remember. You're talking about the long
Yeah.
dude, right? Yeah.
No, not the long hair dude. That's no, the physicist who was talking about vectors.
That's right.
And he was saying this word, and it's like, that's not how you say it.
Compose or something. He was talking about
Components.
Components, that's right. Not a component, but components.
Components. It's like, and what are the components of it? It's like,
He was stressing it the wrong
that's not how you say component.
Component, yeah.
It's component. It's like a little lift on the end, like you're leaping off a diving board into a component. Component. No, you just like belly flopped on the diving board and then fell off to the side.
That's right, because he was, that mathematician guy.
That was, the thing is that I understand physics and vectors and, Cartesian grids and all that
I took in college and high school,
He did not do a good job of explaining that.
No, he almost made it more confusing, especially using those little props. It's just like,
yes, he's like, I'm going to explain it with children's blocks and those little nerf
arrows,
and stuff. And it's like, maybe you should have stuck with paper
or
algebraic equations.
Maybe a whiteboard or chalkboard,
Yeah.
Would have been a little bit easier.
I didn't think it was that good. I mean,
No,
it's just like, even if I didn't understand physics, I still don't think that his explanation would help anyone understand physics.
Oh, no, I agree.
Although I did find it interesting, his whole concept that a vector is not just a line with velocity and direction, but how you can explain a vector as a plane.
Yeah, I did find that
like
interesting.
with area.
Yeah.
But he was doing such a terrible job of explaining things, and I was cooking ratatouille, that I didn't quite grasp onto it.
Well, it's like he was turning the vector up and then using that to determine the area of whatever. It's kind of like,
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting, but I didn't quite get it.
Yeah, right at the cusp of our target temperature there. Actually, this side is a 150.
Start the clock, dude.
0.8. And this side is 152.8. All right, so yeah, we'll start the steeping timer. 30 minutes, as usual. All right, here we go.
Nice.
Give it a little bit more, or a little less flame, just so it doesn't rapidly rise. Really good. Yeah, we're in there, man.
How's your beer?
My beer is. Oh, he snuck one on me. He snuck it on me.
Slam that thing, man.
All right. Yes, we're going to pour from our keg. What if we could try to move the camera over? No, we can't.
It's We've tried that before.
Sorry, we tried to show you our setup in my garage, but one of these days we'll have a camera that we can move around. You can
We have like 9-10 cameras and buttons.
I know, right? Just flip the button for whatever's on there.
And we'll hire someone.
All right, we'll be right back. We're going to pour. Well, we'll keep talking to you at least.
Dead
All right.
air.
Here we go, bro.
Hey, what? You pour. I'll go entertain the people that aren't watching.
Okay.
Hey, we're back! At least there's something to look at, right?
Right.
I'll do something interesting, like I'll bob this bag of grains up and down. Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, here is yours.
Sure looks right.
Yeah. I said so.
Thought you said you didn't think this was carved good yet.
Oh, I said I didn't think it was fully carbonated yet. That it was still kind of green, you know.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't see those little micro bubbles that you love to talk about so much.
It's all right, man.
They all seem to be hanging out on the top of my beer.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's fully carbonated. But color-wise, we seem to have achieved the right color. It seems to be working. Okay.
Love you, bye. Goodbye.
Yeah, look at the bubbles. I can see the bubbles. It's slightly cloudy, but you know what? That's my fault. Because when I was siphoning from the secondary fermenter into the keg, I got a little bit of the trub, whatever the hell it's called. Trub. I looked over at the tube, I'm like, ooh, so I pulled it up because it was, but when it first started, that stuff was crystal clear. I was so proud of it, man.
Nice,
And
man.
I screwed it up, but yeah, whatever.
Oh, a little bit of
It
sediment.
just
isn't a big deal.
might give us some gas later. That's all that stuff's gonna do to you.
It's all right. We had that whole discussion on
We did.
gas.
We
Big
did.
men talking with each other without women around.
Yeah.
Children.
Gas is
You don't apologize. You just go and you're done. Yes, man. Men, cheers. Let's see if it tastes good.
That is amazing. And that is not meant to be a biased comment. It truly is good. Clean finish.
Wow, dude.
That is what we were trying to do. Bounty hunter.
Nice. This tastes just like that one we were drinking out of the can.
FYI,
good
that's
stuff.
got a bird. It's in the garbage can.
Nice. Your cat caught a bird. It's in the garbage can.
Oh, okay.
All right.
He's almost back to normal then. I should get him to really go for a walk in the Crocs. Her feet are hurt there.
It's okay. Yeah, dude. Good job. Well done.
Yeah, likewise, man. These
Oh, yeah, that's right.
these are all joint endeavors, man. It's not all me. I'm not
Right.
sure where I guess we did that one here. Did we do the boil here? No, it doesn't really matter. But the point is, we both did all the work, you know. So these are joint endeavors every time.
Yeah, I don't think we've moved to carboy in a long time.
No.
We've brewed
whoever's kit was intended to be for that house, we brew at that house to keep it easy.
which is why we're here today.
Yeah.
Because actually the weather is nice and it's fun to brew outside at my place, but this beer is for seed.
So just to avoid having to haul things around, because there's been a few times where we were hauling things back and forth because we were only brewing it pretty much, I think, at his house originally actually, we started brewing here originally.
We started on your porch
Right.
in the wind tunnel of doom.
Right. So what we used to do is we would move
Oh, jeez.
the gear back and forth because we only had one kettle, only one burner. And so what would happen is we would forget things sometimes. We live about 20 minutes apart. So it takes about 20 minutes to get to each other's house, you know, driving.
Which means 40 minutes if you go and come back.
Right. So, you know, at that point, I think we decided to start kind of having two almost complete setups, one at each house. That way, whenever we decide whichever house we brew at, there's not much the other person needs to bring, so we have less of a chance to forget things because, hey, we're human, it happens. You know?
That's right. Especially me. I forget a lot of things. Sometimes I think I have Alzheimer's already.
The last time, I think I forgot the water.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, water.
We can't do nothing without that.
I don't think it's a 1-to-1. Doesn't taste exactly like the one out of the can tasted to me, but I think it's really close though. I think I would call it a clone, you know, but I wouldn't say it's 100%. You know, exactly what but then again, it's coming out of a can. It's been, you know, sitting for longer than this has, you know, so.
I would say, with the exception of an aficionado or a true beer snob,
Right.
if you handed this and said, "Hey, tell me if it tastes like Mac and Jack,"
I think some would
they would be like, "Yeah, that tastes like
Yeah.
Mac and Jack,"
I think we reached it. So.
which is cool. We need to brew. We don't need to do this until November, but you know, in November I'm going to hunting camp. My friend John talked about beer. He's not a beer snob at all. But he says, you know, I found that I really enjoy Coors Banquet. Which is why I bought the Coors Banquet.
You wanted to.
It's like, I need to know what this tastes like.
My uncle Mike drinks Coors Banquet, so whenever I would visit him, I'd always have Coors Banquet. You know, it's not terrible.
No, I mean, to be honest,
it's a Coors Light with more flavor. It's kind of what it is, man. Really.
and I like Coors Light, even though, yes, it is a lawnmower beer. You can pretty much drink a case and nobody would know.
I think that one beer we had from Aslan Brewery, that lager they made, it's in a silver can. I can't remember the name of the beer, but it's a lager beer. That stuff was even more light than Coors Light, man.
Dude, that was the most characterless beer I've ever drank. It was like, I am beer. It's like, are you sure?
Are you sure you're a beer?
And the beer's like, well, technically, I fill all the wickets.
It was like a bottle of water they got mixed in with the beer, so it grew up thinking it was beer, even though it was
Yeah.
a bottle of water the whole time.
Exactly. There was like a whole 6-pack of bottles of water that grew up with beer and thought they were beer, but that was really weird. Okay, that's where did you come up with that one? That came out of left field, dude.
Because I've seen some of these like YouTube videos or whatever where like a cat was raised by the dog.
Oh
the
yeah,
dog, you know,
I know.
that kind of thing. You know,
The duck raised by the goats. The duck thinks it's the goat.
yeah, that's just, I was making a stupid.
No, I got it.
Just
I
a
got it.
metaphor, you know.
Anyways, yeah. So we actually do like some Aslan Brewery products.
We do.
We don't think
We
they're
do.
a bad brewery, but the classic lager, which is what they call it,
Okay, it was
classic
name.
lager. That's the name of the beer. Classic lager.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's too light, fellas. If any Aslan people are watching this, yeah, it was way too light. Which I guess some people like that, but we didn't.
It wasn't even the lightness. It was just like it had.
Yeah,
Coors
nothing.
Light had more character than that beer.
It did, right.
I mean, it's just like wow. If Coors Light has more character and it's more interesting than your beer.
That's
No
wrong.
offense, Coors. You know, in case you were like suddenly deciding not to sponsor us, you know, we take it all back if you want to sponsor us. But seriously, we are never getting sponsored. So anyhow, dude,
21 minutes remaining.
total segue, like
Okay.
hardcore gear grinding, going from first to reverse type stuff.
Wow.
You need to make your little Raspberry Pi thing,
Oh.
and then you need to like sell me a copy of it so I can put it, because that really sucked yesterday. It's like you brought the growler over, it's like,
Oh.
yeah, I'm gonna, and it's all gone.
It was okay. We had made a pale ale.
Which is pretty good, actually.
Right. The first tastes were like, ooh, this is kind of boring. You know,
Boring,
this didn't
yeah.
have much to it. But then,
Which we had a lot of Aslan Classic Lager conversations.
Yeah. but once we carbonated and all that, I mean, the little bit I did get that they had, it was good. It had good flavor. You know?
Yeah, the 3.5 ounces that he managed to get. I feel
Well-
really bad about that.
Yeah, and it's fine, man. There's nothing to worry about, dude.
I will restrict myself to only this glass of your Mac and Jack.
No.
In fact, I'll
No,
stop
you,
now.
oh,
I've had
you didn't
3
bring a
ounces.
growler, did you?
Oh, look, you have growlers.
You want to take it? You want to take some while it's still green? You can. If not, then we can wait till next weekend or Friday when you come back. If we drink beer Friday, which typically I always drink beer Friday. So.
It's true. We do always drink beer Friday and Saturday and every other Sunday. And sometimes every Sunday too.
Sometimes on Sunday too. Like last Sunday we drink beer.
Yep. We drink a lot of beer together. It's a good thing. We have a good life, man.
Yeah.
Think about it. It'd be nice if we were millionaires, but
That would be great, you know,
I mean, that'd be awesome.
because we can make more beer and then
And we might like soundproof your, like, we
Actually,
wouldn't even use your garage.
we would convert that basement of yours into a true brew studio, you know.
We could convert my basement. We don't need to be rich to do that. We just need
No,
to
you're
like let go of junk that I haven't touched in 2 years. It's like, why do you have this chair? Want to throw it away? No! It's a perfectly good chair. It's got an inch of dust on it. That doesn't make it a bad chair.
Still a good chair. It's just an unused chair.
Yeah, well, who's the clutter girl? Marie Kondo? Klondike?
I don't know, man.
Condominium? No.
Are you talking like the hoarders thing, or?
Yes. No, this girl, I mean, she kind of made her whole thing was decluttering your life.
Oh, I don't know. That sounds like one of those
It was a reality
Reality
show.
show.
It was a reality show thing.
like Bored Housewives watch or something, you know.
Yeah. Well, she had some. Now I'm gonna look her up.
How's the technology?
I am certain it is Marie Kondo.
Dude, we are like maintaining 153, dude.
That is great, dude. Rock on. All right. Marie Quando? Marie Antoinette. Thank you, Siri.
Will she be headed?
I think it's Marie Curie. Yes, she was. And there we are. Okay, Marie Curie. Actually, she was a pretty awesome lady, you know, with all her radioactive stuff. Too bad she died of cancer.
Radioactive stuff.
You don't know who Marie Curie is?
I don't remember.
Really?
Enlighten me.
Okay, this is worth reading because this is someone you should know about. So Marie Salomea Sklodowska Curie, born Marie Salomea Sklodowska, all right, Polish, naturalized French physicist and chemist who conducted pioneering research on radioactivity. As the first of the Curie family legacy of 5 Nobel Prizes, she was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, first person and only woman to win the Nobel Prize twice, and the only person to win the Nobel Prize in 2 scientific fields.
Interesting.
Okay, so her first stuff is not, I'm not worried about her prizes. Physics and chemistry, that was her thing. Her
What
thesis.
years was she around?
Like early 20th century.
Oh, okay.
Let me look. So 1867 to 1934.
Gotcha.
Right, so late 19th, early 20th. Oh, maybe I'm not actually in the article. I'm just. So, cause of death, bone marrow failure, possibly myelodysplastic syndrome or aplastic anemia, most likely from exposure to radiation. I know, big words, lots of syllables. Come on, what did she do? It was all radioactivity, but like the Curie is a measurement of radioactivity.
Oh, okay.
You know, I
So
mean,
they
it's
took her
named
name-
after
took her
her.
name to
Yeah,
standardize that. Okay.
Yep. She and her husband.
Didn't ring a bell, man. I'm not a physicist.
Wow,
Or a nuclear
I
engineer.
should have known that. The world's first studies conducted into the treat of neoplasms. Neoplasms, man! Alright, so I don't know much about her other than the fact that she was pretty smart and she did a lot of work in radioactivity and that it killed her. But kind of like the way asbestos killed people that didn't know anything about asbestos.
True.
You know? So it's like
Didn't we work around asbestos?
every day of our careers.
See what happens.
Oh, here we go. Legacy. Let's look at the legacy.
Legacy.
Bum. The result of Curie's work was epoch-making. Epoch. Radium's radioactivity was so great that it could not be ignored. It seemed to contradict the principle of this Ernest Rutherford, yada,
So,
yada,
let's
yada.
back up for a minute. Why did you even look her up?
I didn't. I'm looking up Marie Kondo. But then Marie Curie showed it. Curie showed it.
okay.
And then you said you didn't know who Marie Curie was.
You were like,
and so
oh,
then we had to look her up.
fix that.
And now we're talking about Rutherford and Curie's work and overturn and yeah. Anyways, you've got a good point there.
So we're kind of going down a rabbit hole on that one.
But hey, it's what we do. We got like 2.5 hours left to this broadcast. We got to think
I know,
of something
right?
to talk about. Come on, you stupid phone.
Are we having technical difficulties?
Swoosh.
15 minutes on
I
steep.
am.
So we're halfway through the steep, maintaining a perfect 153 degrees Fahrenheit. And I specify because I'm going to have people from other countries that don't use that system. So, which I don't know what I don't know what 153 is in Celsius. I know there's a conversion, but I'm sorry, I'm just not going to do the conversion.
1.2.
What?
So the conversion for Celsius is that you subtract 32.
Right, and you then depending which way you're going, you divide or multiply by 1.8 or 5/8.
Isn't it 1.2?
Let's look it up.
Well, I'm looking up Marie Kondo, who is not quite as
I think if
academic
you-
as what you're talking about.
If you're converting from Celsius to Fahrenheit, it's plus 32 times, I think, 1.8.
Well,
maybe 1.2.
So Celsius is 0 to 100.
Right. If you're converting from
Maybe just
Fahrenheit,
1.8.
wait a minute.
Because Fahrenheit is 32 to 220.
Right.
At sea level.
Right.
So
I think I'm
that's
saying it
what?
backwards. If you're going from Fahrenheit
So
to
it's 100
Celsius,
so-
you multiply it. It's from Celsius to Fahrenheit, you divide, I believe.
That makes sense. So it is 1.8 though, because
Yeah.
there's 188 Fahrenheit degrees between freezing and boiling. right? So 220 minus 32.
Minus 32, yeah.
You get 188.
Right.
So divide that by 100, so it's 1.88 if you want to be uber precise.
I think that, which is 5 ninths, I believe. If you look at it as a fraction.
I don't operate in ninths very often.
I don't either, but
I use tape measures, halves, quarters,
we're
16s.
really going on a tangent on this one.
That's okay, man. We've still got 2 hours left of this broadcast.
Well, what's funny is when I was a young freshman in college, learning programming and all that, that was one of the exercises we had to do was create a temperature converter.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like software-wise?
Yeah, software-wise.
I mean, you can do it in your head. But it's pretty close. So divide 32 by 1.8, and whatever that is, you subtract that.
Yeah.
By the way, Marie Kondo is her claim to fame. Not quite as amazing as Marie Curie, but Marie Kondo is the one.
That doesn't make much sense.
Does it?
Oh, you know what? Hold on. So I have 153. I'm going to multiply that by 1.8. Add 32.
You don't want to add quite 32. Hold on. I have a calculator too. Look at all this phone stuff going on. Go ahead.
So it's like 300. It's like over 300 degrees Celsius at 153 if I did the math right. So.
You didn't do the math right.
Yeah. It's not right.
Not even remotely, dude. All right, so 17.7. All right, because 1.8. So 32 degrees.
That's 102 Celsius.
32 degrees Celsius is 0. 32 degrees Fahrenheit is 0 Celsius.
Yeah.
But we know that each Fahrenheit
Your
degree.
watchers like these guys are dumb.
Oh no, they aren't. You know why? Because they can't convert to Fahrenheit. You know how I know? Because I have European friends and we have this discussion.
So we're all dumb.
Yes.
Do we have any comments actually?
Not yet. We have 3 viewers, but that's okay.
And we're sure it's not us this time.
I have not logged in. I swear I've not logged in. But now, just to double check ourselves, because we can.
Just look at this little temperature converter. It'll give you the formula.
We don't even need the formula.
But I remember writing that. It was this little command line program in C++. But that was the first programming language I ever took in college. And you would just type in you had a little menu, and you would choose if you want to convert from Celsius to Fahrenheit or Fahrenheit to Celsius, and you would type in whatever
What did we say?
temperature you were dealing with. What do you mean? What the temperature?
Yeah.
153.
Okay.
We're just gonna round down.
What did we say in Celsius?
I said 102, but
I'm getting
102.7.
65.
65? Definitely did my math wrong then.
What is the formula? Oh, look, here's the formula. That's not a
You know why?
formula.
Because I added 32 and not subtracting 32. That's why I screwed up.
Yeah, you gotta,
I did it backwards.
you have to calibrate your zeros. That's what you have to do.
Minus 32 divided by 1.8 is 67.2. So,
There you
I
go.
was doing it wrong. I was doing it backwards. Because depending which way you're trying to convert, you either multiply or divide the 1.8. So,
Got you.
or subtract or add to the 32.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to multiply by 1.8 if you're going from Celsius to Fahrenheit.
Right, because higher,
Celsius degrees are bigger than Fahrenheit degrees. They're also more well calibrated. It's another one of those systems that we should really probably adopt, but we don't.
Yeah, I know. It's more precise,
Mm-hmm.
and same with centimeters and
And
things
it
like
makes
that.
sense.
And yeah,
It's like 0 to 100. That's a good thing. But here's a cool thing. It only makes sense on the planet Earth. Look, we're on Mars.
right, because everything's different.
When does water freeze on Mars?
We don't know. Well, I mean, I'm sure we know, but I don't know what the answer is to that. So, but you're right. Yeah, it's different. There's different characteristics on Mars. You're farther away from the sun, so things are going to happen differently. You know what I mean?
I think the freezing point happens at the same point, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. But just
I
Mars.
don't know. If you pressurize water, can you make it colder without
But just what's
freezing?
weird about Mars though is its atmosphere is different. Because
Its atmosphere
Mars is
is
very,
different.
very hot when it's in the sun, or it's very, very cold. You know what I mean? So,
Oh, no, I haven't been there.
Well, it's fine, one I've read. I'm just saying it myself.
Well, but what I do know is that above 5,000 feet, they start making, they make, help me here, adjustments
Oh, I
and
see.
modifications to things like recipes.
Oh, yeah, even here in this, almost in the States, but on this planet, when sea level changes, the pressure changes, they adjust temperatures from times and stuff. It's true.
And since Fahrenheit is based off of, it's not based off of temperature, really, it's based off of water's boiling point. Think about it.
Which is 212 degrees in the Fahrenheit scale, is for boiling point of water.
Oh, did I say 220?
You might have, but
I did say 220. You're right,
212.
212. Okay, but it's all at sea level and it's based on water, right? This much heat, which is, I mean, I guess, but again, it's like it's a relative thing. I don't know if Celsius is still based on water though.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's still from freezing to boiling of water.
Right.
That's how they made it.
If you really want to get crazy, let's factor in Kelvin in there and stuff. So
Kelvin. Well, see, Kelvin goes to true absolute zero.
extreme temperatures, yeah. Extreme heat, extreme cold is Kelvin.
Right, but Kelvin, if you hit 0 Kelvin, that's like what, negative 270 something?
Yeah, I don't remember what the actual value is, but I know that's when like molecules stop moving at that level. It's so cold,
Yeah, it's absolute zero. There is no heat. There's absolutely no heat.
Nothing.
And then Kelvin can go the other way too. But I think Kelvin is probably it's a better scientific scale.
Well, it's for bigger numbers, like when you're talking about the heat of the sun or something, you know what I mean?
Right.
Those kind of things. So
I just say that's hot.
it's hot, wicked hot.
It's wicked hot.
Wicked hot.
Wicked hot is the word for it, absolutely.
And New England viewers are like, yes, they said wicked, wicked.
Specifically Massachusetts people.
Oh yeah.
That is definitely a Massachusetts.
Yeah, Maine too. I remember when I was up in Maine, when I was stationed there, a lot of people said wicked. Everything was wicked. Yeah.
Hey, what's that word? A-U-A-Y-U-A. Ayah? Did they say that? Ayah?
Yeah.
Ayah?
Going to the store today, yeah.
Ayah?
I can't do it right, but yeah, it's a real thing.
You do it better than me.
It's a real thing, yeah. Yeah. If you want to hear a movie example of it, watch the original, like 1990 Pet Cemetery. Stephen King. It takes place one of the original main stories. The character, was it Andy Griffith's character? I forget the actor's real name.
Andy Griffith.
Oh, that's right. It was his real name, wasn't it? Yeah. I think it's no, it's not Andy Griffith, man. Who played Herman Munster? No, not Herman Munster. Who played? All over the place. I know, man. My mind is going in 5 different directions. Maybe it was Herman Munster. I think it was the same guy that played Herman Munster is in the movie Pet Cemetery. And he plays a Maynard. Yeah, I know, right? Here we go. A Maine local, but he does that kind of true Maynard, way of speaking as far as the character goes. He does it pretty well. He does that yacht thing,
Oops. Try again.
I'm pretty sure it was Herman Munster. The actor who played Herman Munster was in Pet Cemetery. Big guy.
Did they really spell it Sematary? Oh, look, there's the cast.
Was it really? Cemetery with an S?
Yeah.
Who did that? By the way, we have about 5 minutes left on our sheet.
Just enough time for me to find out who's in this movie. Fred Gwynn. Yeah, that was Herman Munster.
Okay. Yeah. So not Andy Griffith. Who is Andy Griffith?
Yes. Although I don't think Andy Griffith's character was Andy Griffith on the Andy Griffith Show, was it? I think his character had a last name.
Maybe different. Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Sheriff of Mulberry, whatever it was. Yeah. I remember in the 90s watching Nick at Night as a kid. As a young teenager, and it was all those old shows like Mr. Ed, the Andy Griffith Show. I mean, real late at night, they just strung Lucy. They just strung them all together. I remember I used to watch that because I watch USA Network with Gilbert Gottfried Up All Night, and then it later became Rhonda Up All Night. Maybe it was Rhonda first. I can't remember. But that's how she said it. She would say Rhonda Up All Night because kind of ditzy blonde character. Hot, of course.
Of course.
And it was it was cheeseball movies and stuff, but. It was so fun, man. And then I think after that was over is when I'd switch over to Nick at Night and watch all those old, 1950s TV shows.
Yeah,
I was like 14 when I was doing this,
I did not watch a lot You know who Sky Birdall is?
No idea.
I know who Bo Birdall is.
Who are these bird all peoples?
I don't know. But Sky Birdall is the sister of Blaze Birdall, who was in Pet Cemetery.
Okay.
It is totally.
Are you looking at the 1990 version or the one that came out like
the 1989
or
version?
80? Oh,
Yes.
89. Okay.
That's what I was looking up right there.
Yeah, because they did a reboot of Pet Cemetery a few years ago, and they really changed the story up. I don't like what they did, man. They like changed it around.
Did they change the story? See, I never read Pet Cemetery. I never saw the 89
The
flick.
89 flick followed the book way more than the 90 or 2000 whatever 17 version.
So my Stephen King exposure has been the Gunslinger series, which I have never finished.
Me too. I need to go back and read that. I love the first 3 books that I've read, and at the time he had not finished the other books yet, and now the full series is done.
I guess it's not really Gunslinger. It's the Dark Tower series, isn't it? What it's
Yeah, Dark Tower series.
I think a lot of people call it the Gunslinger series because
Right, because the first book was called The Gunslinger.
right, and it's Roland, right?
Roland was the name of the character, yeah.
It's like some sort of knight, but he uses 6-shooters.
Well, yeah, it's kind of western-y. You know, he's like a badass.
With the crazy train
Yeah.
whose pump primes backwards. Man, that will never get out of my head. Did you remember that part where they're getting on the crazy train across that wasteland?
Was that in the first book?
And they had to I don't know which book it was in. I read a couple.
It's been a long time. I read them in high school.
But there was this riddle, and it was like, you have to prime my pump, but be warned, my pump primes backwards. And it was a whole bunch of numbers, and then it took like 5 pages, and I'm sitting there going, yeah, push all the prime numbers in a reverse sequence. That's the code. That's the code. Somehow Stephen King stretched that out for 5 pages. And now it is forever branded in my head.
That's right. One day I'll go back and reread that whole. I'm going to start from the first book and just read the whole series, man. Because I remember the original Gunslinger. I love the original story, the first book. So
Stephen King's kind of sick.
I think he wrote those books in like the 70s, man. At least he started the series in the 70s.
I mean, they were fun. They were action packed. You know, there wasn't a lot of suspense and a lot of anything. They were action books for sure.
Those were action, yeah. Not
But
like those.
Dude has issues.
Oh, he'll admit that. He knows he's sick. But he's got an imagination, though, you know?
I mean, it's a sick imagination. Like, this is kind of gross. Like, if you're entertained by this, maybe you are a sick person too. You know? Like, so do you remember the character?
Enough people must have been because he made millions and millions of
A
dollars.
lot of
You know?
sick people in the world.
What is there something specific you want to reference?
No, there was one scene. So there was the people that were pulled in from the real world, or like the modern world. And there was one girl who had no legs. She got run over by a bus or something.
That sounds like the Dark Tower book.
Okay, so it's.
I think
one
that's
of
either the
books.
Dark Tower, not the Dark Tower, the Drawing of the Three, or if I remember, I can't remember, whatever. Go ahead.
Anyways, it just, I mean, so.
We have 50 seconds, by the way.
All right, so he describes this pretty graphic rape sequence where she willingly gets raped, which I don't know if that's rape once you're willingly doing it, by a demon, right? And then she rapes the demon back in order for them to beat the demon. It was the most sick, twisted, I mean, and Stephen King just went graphic with it. You know, it's just like,
A little too much, huh?
it's like, why are you?
I'm sorry, I'm going to go get a ladle.
Ladle.
We need a ladle. There's our stuff over there. Phone's going to beep here probably in about 30 seconds so we can take it out the fire.
And just like drip goop all over your.
No.
All right, get a pot too. A ladle and a pot. I will wait. I'm waiting for the phone to beep. Hey, you know what? If you're watching this, that's the phone. If you're watching this on the replay, you can leave comments on YouTube, which we're broadcasting to. And I do get emails saying, hey, someone commented, and then we could respond to your comments. In case you're not interested in leaving comments now. Hi, sweetie. Okay, that's a little interesting. Hi back. How you doing? All right, we got a comment. Hi, sweetie. He's obviously talking to you.
Me?
Well, I don't know. This person is Mike H. I did not kill the fire.
I don't know who Mike H is.
I don't know who Mike H is either.
Phone, why Mike H? Thanks for joining us.
Yes, but
Thanks for the comment.
their entry comment is, hi, sweetie.
Maybe it's my nephew playing games.
Hi, what you did? All right, if this is Chase, Oh, so adorable. Somebody's adorable.
Wow, okay.
I mean, this is, dude, I need
We need
the pan. Okay.
the pano.
All right, there, that's good.
So we'll just put this up here for now. All right, now we're gonna add our malt extracts in.
In any case, welcome, Mike. Welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for calling me adorable. You are not wrong. You're spilling. Now, don't step in the goo that you just, what in the world are you? All right, you know what?
Make it a mess. Let's go.
Right.
Let's go with it.
You get to be sticky today, not me. No stickiness.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, I gotta clean that sticky up.
Well, we're not in a big one.
Oh yeah, a beer and a half, man. Can't even blame the beer on this one.
That was pretty bad. I'm just watching you spill it. It's like, what are you doing? Maybe you could just put Black Betty's higher over the top. Nobody will ever know. All right, so. Obviously, most professional beer brewers this side of the Columbia River. No doubt about that.
You ladle yourself. We've learned this lesson already.
Yes, no more dumping hot liquids on each other and just.
Sounds kinky, but that's not us.
Why you gotta go there?
All right, let's get this out of here. Here's the lid.
All right, good. We got the lid. Good. Thank you, Mike. I am glad that you are amused by this. So, in answer to your question of almost an hour ago, Steve, yes, he's entertained.
Oh, good. Yeah, I kind of did a Russell Crowe style.
Okay, put that down there.
So, are you a brewer? Or are you just kind of curious what we're doing, or?
Or are you just here to heckle us?
You want to heckle us, which is fine. We can have fun with heckling too.
Yeah, we like being heckled. It's really damn hard to offend us, to be honest.
Right? And I mean, if you are a brewer, man, we'd love to talk about brewing with you, or maybe learn a thing or two from you.
Both. So he's a brewer, and he's here to heckle us. Maybe we should do the warm water thing instead of relying on.
This is awfully.
The sun has totally let us down.
Now, Mike, even though this is, we brew when we're talking, we tend to not talk about brewing.
But we will talk about
But
brewing.
since we have a brewer with us, we'll definitely talk about brewing.
Totally respond to your comments.
When we first started, we used to kind of try to keep it brew-centric, but then we learned that sometimes it's better just to go with whatever's on our mind.
No, there's no sometimes about it.
It's more like hey, we're gonna talk about whatever and happen to brew at the same time.
But we do talk about beer because we like beer. And we do talk about beer right at the beginning. We're pretty faithful about that.
Well, we then do kind of that little segment where we talk about, like, today we're gonna talk about hops or whatever,
I know,
but we don't do that anymore.
Well, the problem is we focus too hard on it, and then
Right.
we end up staring at the camera.
And then, or just reading page after page after page.
Yes, we just read websites, which people could just do on their own.
I know, right?
It's like, welcome to the Northwest Brewmeister Story Hour, where we're going to read you a website that you could read for yourself if you wanted. And I guess I'm talking to you because Steve left. So, tell us about yourself, where you're from, what kind of beer do you like?
All right. That one already been shook up? Or?
No, it's just got stuff in it. You should probably shake it. Don't aim it at me, though.
Shake it up, shake it up. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you can't already tell, we're extract brewers. We do grain steeping, but our malts are extracted, so we keep it simple, and we're happy with that.
Because the beer is delicious at the end.
Yeah. We're still just as happy with the beer. So. So yeah, remember, this one has a different process. We're gonna do our hour of boil. However, when we get down to when the boil's done, we're gonna chill it to 170 and then put in our other 2 hot packets and then whirlpool it for 15 minutes.
Is that stuff ready to rock and roll?
So, what's that?
I said, is that stuff ready to rock and roll?
Yeah. Let's do this. All right.
That's pretty
The
good.
rest of our extracts are in there.
I mean,
Here, when you,
so what do you want to do? Just like maybe do the chilling at the door and just shoot it down the driveway or something?
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we have a work chiller we use. It hooks up to my garden hose.
We love it.
Does
pretty
wonders.
much. It's amazing. And it was given to us for free, which is even more amazing.
Yeah. All right. So now,
You get that set up. I'm gonna wash my hands because you know you.
all right, go ahead and get the fire going.
Sticky. I'll be right back.
All right, man. All right, come on, boil. Here we go. Actually, I can't see the comments. Okay, so what are your favorite styles, Mike? If you're still with us there, we tend to brew pretty much everything. Today we're doing an IPA. Last time we did what did we do last time? Was it-
At my house?
oh, it was the stout.
Yeah, Irish stout.
The Irish stout.
Right.
Time before that, we did a Newcastle clone.
Which needs to go into
And then-
the keg tonight.
I know, right? And then a few weeks before that, we did a Mac and Jack clone, which is actually what we're drinking.
What we're drinking?
We're drinking
right
now.
now, baby.
And I bought some regular Mac and Jack so we can kind of compare the two and see what we thought. So I asked somebody what his like favorite brews were, if he like what he like brewing. So. Yeah, this is a session style IPA, so it's not very strong, which is fine.
You know, I find it strange that those IBUs are so low when we're practically dry hopping.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, think about it, that's after the boil.
All right, well, now we wait for the water for the wort to boil.
More waiting, there's so much waiting.
Wait.
And that's why we stopped trying to stay on beer topics, because we just ran
We
out.
ran out of stuff.
And
so now-
you'd go to a next article, and then the next article would be the same thing.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of times it was copy and paste. It's like, look, there's 19 brewery sites.
And they all say the exact same
One guy
thing.
wrote an article, and they all copied and pasted it and put it onto their site.
Pretty much, man.
Which
Pretty
is
much.
kind of the internet, you know? I mean, which is almost a problem. The fact that we're supposed to have all the information in the world, but we really are only getting one view.
Regurgitated
And then it gets copied and
information,
pasted
you know?
and copied and pasted. Which, I mean, certain things, I mean, that's the way it is. Water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. It's like, you can't say that many other ways. It's like, at 32 degrees Fahrenheit, water freezes.
Yeah.
Or frozen becomes water at 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
Frozen becomes water.
Frozen becomes water.
Frozen becomes water.
Come on, channel your inner Yoda. Or, upon reaching 32 degrees Fahrenheit,
Frozen becomes
freeze water does.
Freeze water does.
Freeze water does.
How's your beer?
Well,
We're kind of mashed at the moment, you know? Yeah, I think it needs another couple of days of carbonation, but definitely drinkable, you know?
oh, this is totally, and this will just get better. I mean, this is fine.
I mean,
Yeah, it's a little green,
I can
but
see my bubbles, so I'm happy with it.
you have a different glass than me.
I have a different, yes, I have a different glass than you. But it's a glass, it's just a glass.
I don't see the bubbles. Why do I see the
Look,
bubbles?
I see
here?
bubbles right there. They're growing.
I see sediment.
What'd you do to your beer? There's no bubbles.
I don't know, man. You're the guy that poured it.
That pour is suboptimal.
Chase,
Hey!
our favorite fan.
Well, Welcome back,
Thank
Jace.
you for showing up. Good to see you, man.
All right, well, we'll do a regular Mac and Jack again. Unless you just want to do another one of those, I don't care.
Well, we
Or
might
you
as
do a
well
cold.
No, let's do the regular Mac test. Let's drink those up too. You bought them. Let's drink them.
We'll just bounce back and forth.
Did you
between-
just like surge ahead of me or something?
No, I'm not the one that does the stealth attacks, so. He distracts me with a question and then goes, what's wrong with your beer, dude?
Come on, it's
No, it is funny, it's funny.
Oh.
Yeah, he'll distract me with a question, and I get all talking about it, he'll slam his beer down, and then act like I'm the one that got behind, you know?
So, for two guys who claim that we like don't drink to get drunk, and then like
Slam our beers down.
totally like sophomore college, dude, you're not even drinking.
Right. You want a nibble for that?
Like, what's wrong with us?
A couple guys in their 40s acting like they're college sophomores.
Well, you know, you're only as young as you feel, so.
True statement, man. I do not feel old.
I
I
don't
don't
either.
feel young, but I don't feel old. I don't consider myself
I
old.
feel young but wise.
I just like having fun, man. You know?
Unfortunately, I'm not wise, but I feel wise.
Feel wise.
Still, I feel like I can just pretty much do all the things that I used to do. Woo. Except for the whole driving cross country without sleeping. I just can't.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore either.
Man,
Let it fly, good lord.
it's okay if it goes in there. We haven't even hit boil. It'll be sterilized.
Sterilized fly.
I will totally still drink this beer. We might want to fish it out of there, but
I have a strainer.
okay, that'll be good. So,
Interestingly though, man, we didn't get all the super foam this time because we're not using those dry malt extracts. this
well, the
time.
dry, yeah, they do. Did we have a dry malt with the stout?
I don't remember. I can't remember. I know that Roquefort 8.
Oh, jeez, there was so much sugar
It
in
was
that.
so foamy when we were down and putting the
Freaking
malt.
sugar
malt
cane
extract in there.
field in that thing. Jeez,
Yeah.
dry malt, liquid malt. There's like almost 12 pounds of sugar went into that. I mean, the malts,
I mean, I
right?
think we used 2 snack packs.
Well, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and you know, I don't know why. I don't know that that's necessary. Think about it, man. I mean, the whole reason for chilling quickly and getting into the cardboard quickly, well, not the whole reason, but one of the pushes is so that you can pitch your yeast and your yeast gets the head start, right? You don't want the wild bacteria to get the head
Yeah,
start
time
in the
over.
fermentation process, or I guess in the propagation process, you know? Because that's kind of what it is. Whichever bug gets to the pole first, they're going to take the beer, right? So if you got some wild yeast or wild bacteria and they start propagating fast and you put your desired yeast in, it's like, nope, sorry, man, we're here first.
We got here first.
So why would you need to put 2 things of yeast in? Because once they kick off, they're going to keep breeding. They multiply. It's not like that's enough yeast to do it.
No,
They multiply.
I really don't know.
They breed.
Unless it was a marketing gimmick to get us to buy more yeast.
I'm thinking it is.
Yeah.
It's okay, fine. You know, that's all right. I
It is
mean,
what
it
it
is kind of a yeast orgy in there once you put it in. Yeast orgy. Think about it. It's a yeast orgy. Oh yeah, it's very white and all that.
Wow.
Let's get it on, but not just drinking, but totally immersed in the alcohol.
Was that beer?
Oh, you suck.
Wow! Gotcha.
It's really good, by the way.
It is pretty good. We did well on that one. Yeah, so it should be interesting.
But that's what Trevor said about that's what he said about the experimental beer that we did.
Right.
He said a lot of people will chill to 170, and then they'll add their last set of hops, whatever it is, and then they'll let it sit.
Well, this is Adam, and then stir vigorously for 15 minutes, or stir vigorously, get it the whirlpool in, and then cover it for 15 minutes, and then after that resume wort chilling down to sub 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which we usually take it down to about 60, between 60 and 70 anyway, before we put it in our fermenter. So just to ensure we don't pitch the yeast with it too hot, because we've done that before. So back in our early days,
And it made off flavors,
off flavor.
like barnyard.
Barnyard.
By the way, folks, the challenge is still out there. Anybody want to go taste the barnyard for us?
Yeah.
You let us know how it turns out.
Barnyard was used as an example of an off flavor in one of the blogs we read. We were just trying to figure out what does a barnyard taste like.
Green apple, we know what green apple tastes like.
I've actually tasted that in the beers before. It's like, yep. That's
Pumpkin?
Applebee.
Pumpkin?
Not had the pumpkin experience.
No, but we know what pumpkin
Yeah.
tastes like. I mean, if
Sure.
you've ever eaten the pumpkin puree before you're making the,
Sure.
or if you've had pumpkin soup, which is actually not too bad, by the way.
I've never had pumpkin soup.
You should try pumpkin soup someday. It's not bad.
Okay.
It's orange,
Orange.
much like most things pumpkin are.
Yeah.
Kind of a brownish orange, you know.
Do you usually eat chunks of pumpkin in it? Is that what-
Well, I don't know. Usually you puree
Is
the
it
pumpkin.
more- okay,
It's
okay.
more like, it's like tomato soup is what it is.
Ah, okay, that makes more sense.
But not chunky tomato soup.
So what would you have with it? Like, what would be like a side item with it?
Whipped cream.
Whipped cream.
Probably not. I don't know.
Like tomato soup. Like well.
It's a zesty soup, right?
Well,
It's not sweet.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I mean, for instance, tomato soup. A lot of people like to have grilled cheese sandwich with it. Dip it sometimes.
Yes, I like that too.
So I'm just curious what would pair with that.
I don't know. You
The
have to
food
look at,
types out
you're
there.
talking to the guy that will eat chocolate cake and drink Coors Light at the same time. Most people
That's a
don't
good
do
point.
that.
Yeah, most people don't do that. Yeah.
I just-
Beer and chocolate just don't typically.
All the
That
flavors
shit.
are separate in my mouth. I finish the one thing and then the next thing goes in. It's a completely new experience. It's like, wow, this has never happened before. It's like, I'm gonna bite this piece of cake again. Oh wow, this is so cool.
New flavor. Going off camera to get the beer.
You should do that. I need one of those beers.
Yes.
Nice. No, do not throw the beer at me. It's really bad.
I'm not a freshman anymore.
It's cool. Although we were just acting like sophomores moments ago.
But that's not freshman.
True. Right.
Dude, I haven't thrown a beer since I was probably like 23. You know what I mean?
What's that supposed to do?
I don't know. It's just a dumb thing I've been doing since the dawn of my drinking days.
Freshman.
Is it real? Does it really do anything?
I don't know.
Supposed
You always do it though.
supposedly it's supposed to like calm any agitation that's in the can, but I don't really know if it.
By rattling the can.
Yeah, strange, huh?
The logic does not follow.
Does not compute. I get it, man.
Because if you think about it, you're tapping on the can. You're shocking the liquid inside, which will release the CO2, not encourage it to hang
Well,
out.
The way to test this would be to not use beer, of course. We use soda cans. But
Well, we could use Asline Classic Lager.
would be to shake a can up, open it. Obviously, we know what's going to happen there. I'm getting there, and then and then shake a can up and tap it and then open it and see what happens. Yeah.
Now, here's a
Do a
question,
little empirical testing.
my friend.
I gave myself too much head.
Let's talk about the space between the top of my beer and the rim of my glass. You think you could fit 4 ounces of liquid there?
I don't know.
Because that was the discussion that happened earlier
Yeah,
before we
yeah.
went live. Is that you do not believe this is a pint glass.
Well,
I think you may be right. Or it might be exactly a pint.
at the very tip, yeah.
Yes, but who in the world, especially after you've had 7 or 8, it's like, how could you use that glass? Which, of course, is why we like kegs, because with a keg, you can pour 3.765 ounces of beer, if that's what you want to drink. It's not 12 or nothing.
Right.
The cans are 12 or nothing. That's it. Drink 12?
Well, the way we can test that also, I think I have a measuring cup that we can put in 16 ounces of water and pour it in there and see what it comes to.
You could do that.
If we really want to get crazy. The whole reason we talk about these things is that years ago, in like 2008 timeframe, we'll say, I read an article in Brewing magazine where this journalist in this article would sometimes get kicked out of bars because he would test their actual volume of the pints they claimed to have, because they'd say, oh, we serve a beer by the pint. They would charge you, a few bucks extra because it was a pint. But then he was learning that these glasses weren't true pints, and he would call them out and they'd be like, you got to go, And so
I remember you were pretty
Yeah.
fired up about it. We'd go out, you'd be like, this ain't a pint. And you were right, because when the bottom of the glass is 2.5 inches thick.
right, you see a big giveaway is a taller glass but a real thick bottom. Yeah, that internal volume is not 16 ounces, you know what I mean? It made you think it was, if you weren't,
All
you know.
marketing,
if you weren't astute about it,
crazy
but,
marketing.
But yeah, it was interesting stuff though. Server and citizen, now I just kind of pay attention to the pint glasses and I judge them now, and it's like, oh, is that a real pint or not, you know?
Which just doesn't matter, because these are your pints.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. These are all I got free from like brewers nights in different places, you know. So they might be 16 ounces to the very tip, honestly, which would make them legit, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's hard to pour that much beer. I mean, it's hard to, because then you're doing the whole balance thing, and it's like, who wants to do that when you're just relaxing? and
Right. So I get it. We have a visitor.
Hi, Bailey.
Look at your face.
I don't
What
know.
is on your face?
I don't know what color is it.
Red. Looks like you got the cut almost.
Blackberries.
Oh.
By
You found some blackberries when you were
Yeah,
walking around.
so when you eat blackberries, the way humans do it is they pick the blackberry.
That's what we did.
It's, well,
They
how
were,
did you do it?
they were really, really ready, so they were really juicy.
You were really ready.
So you put your face on the blackberry bush and ate them off like that?
Probably.
All I gotta do is get on the seat.
You got a what? It
I
looks
got-
like you
I
got a
got a
cat
nature.
tail.
It is.
I call it a nature's glizzy.
What's a glizzy?
Nature's corn dog, New York.
A glizzy's a hot dog.
A glizzy is a hot dog?
That's what I usually.
What country?
I don't
No
know.
idea. No idea, man.
I've never heard of a glizzy being called a hot dog.
It's on YouTube.
I'll be
Of course,
like,
it's
you're
on
YouTube.
It's nature's corn dog.
That's what I told her.
I don't
Nature's
care.
corn dog.
I got the wrong one.
Okay,
Goodbye.
I'm going to get Riley.
Okay. See
Oh,
you later.
I'm glad Bobby's in our backyard.
Okay.
we now return to our regular program.
I know, right?
I don't know what that
Because
was.
sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. You know?
It's mainly because we're such a professional broadcast.
Right, we are.
For people that were less professional, this stuff wouldn't happen. They'd have
Oh, yeah,
good microphones.
They have microphones, proper lighting, signs that say "Do not enter." You know.
Yes.
Don't come talk to me in the middle of my broadcast.
Maybe even a studio where people wouldn't want to enter. Maybe even a studio that wasn't also their garage
True.
or their basement. So the one problem.
Oh, if it wasn't for the acoustics, I mean, this is good for brewing because we have a lot of room, you know.
Oh yeah, no, this is actually perfect.
It's just the acoustics. Man, the sun is.
And then the sun cooking you. You know, I noticed you're always the guy that gets
Your
hammered.
house, it happens as well, man.
I know. It's like I'm sitting there comfortable, nice in the shade.
The sun reaches that point, and all of a sudden it just starts
And then
cooking.
suddenly you get.
I'm coming, Mom.
Okay,
You're going.
bye.
with-
You're going with mom. Back to our regularly scheduled program.
Back to our regular scheduled programming.
This
What are
guy
we
might be
talking
somebody
about?
like these dudes.
I don't know if he's even there anymore.
He brought it
No,
up a long time ago.
Well, the problem is, so I think he hung out for a while because.
Or maybe one of those original free viewers.
Well, it was sitting at 4 viewers for a while,
Oh, okay.
and then a comment came out from Mike saying,
Right.
"Hi, sweetie," which is interesting. And then he called me adorable. At least I'm assuming he called me adorable.
Oh.
I'm assuming he's a he. Maybe
knows,
maybe it's not a he. You
Maybe
can't
it's an
tell in the
elephant.
days. I mean, maybe it's. I can't see the avatar that well. Did you
Okay.
say maybe it's an elephant? That was kind of random, man. I mean, elephants don't type. I think. Maybe that's
Maybe not with their.
maybe that's bigoted of me
You know,
to
but
say
they
that
type.
elephants can't type.
How dare you?
You know what? I dare. Oh yeah, I'll go there. Elephants, you can't type. How do you like them apples, huh? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Ban me for saying that you can't type? Ooh. I don't know of any elephants.
Elephant
that
culture
own-
is gonna cancel you, buddy.
Oh man, they are coming for me now. It's all right. I don't know any elephants. Never met one. I've never got to ride one. An elephant would be fun to ride.
When I was a kid. Now I guess that doesn't happen anymore now, like circuses and stuff.
Yeah,
They don't
really.
go for rides anymore.
So
Yeah.
overly safe. Everything's safe.
Yeah.
The elephants are oppressed. So if you want oppressed, go live in India. Well, actually, I guess elephants probably do pretty good in India.
Probably.
There's not
They're
many animals.
sacred,
Like,
aren't they, in India? I don't know.
I don't know if they're sacred or not, but well, I think they are. I mean, there's definitely a god that has an elephant's head.
Still not boiling.
But I just think, it's like people talk about certain animals like, oh, it's so sad they're in captivity. It's like, yeah, they get fed every day.
Right?
Crocodilators don't come eat them.
Crocodilators?
Crocodilators, yeah. Crocodilators. Point being, but these are all smaller animals, like platypi. Is it platypi or is it platypuses? Let me guess, we're missing a hops packet.
We are missing a hops packet.
Are you serious? I definitely see.
Well, let me read. There's 3, but there's supposed to be 4. Unless, I think the Galaxy hops was, I believe it said half an ounce twice.
Half an ounce twice?
And then this is 1 ounce, so that's why.
They expect us to divide? That is so unfair. Don't they know we're going to be drinking beer while we
I
do
know,
this?
right? It's like, hold on.
We're so breaking our own rules.
Yeah, so we're supposed to guess half of this at the 60-minute point, which would start, and then at 30-minute, we do the other half.
Oh, dude! Ah, damn it! This always happens to us.
Turn it off.
Good. All right. Well, that's not bad. That's actually, we've had worse.
We've had worse.
We've had worse.
All right, so
All right. So we've got a perfect rolling boil with no flame whatsoever.
that's right.
Well, wait. So pour it out on like a piece of paper or on that napkin there and just divide it. It's gonna go into the boil, so it'll get sanitized. You don't have to worry about
Oh
that.
no, I'm not worried about that. We just need to get the fire back on.
Well, eventually. Have I mentioned we're still boiling here?
Oh no, I got you.
It's been like quite a few months since we've had a boil over.
But usually the boil over happened because of the hops, just not because of the fire. You know what I mean?
And that wasn't bad. Don't worry, folks. Everything's okay. It's just a little bit of beer on the ground.
All right, where's that aiming flame? Let's get going.
That's low. Do you have an access point? Because I don't. Not over here. Do you have like a hole or a place to get? Or do we need to move this thing?
All right.
Can you get to it? Okay. I can do that. Now that you've coated it with beer. Bam! Whew! Yeah. You like that? I'll do it again. Oh yeah.
All right, here's our
It's like Doc Holliday of Amen Flames.
right.
Dude, you need to keep that. You need to want to get that as low as. Well, I guess it's already boiled over, so who knows?
Yeah.
Chuck that stuff in there. Let's see what happens.
Real carefully.
We're safe. Go for it.
Keep it small,
Go for it, man.
because I had to separate it, so.
One pellet at a time.
15 pellets at a time.
Okay. That's some efficiency there.
Yeah. Timer going. Yeah, I think we're fine.
No, you'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
If Critical Drinker wants to sponsor us, that'd be cool too.
Except we're not doing movies, but that's okay.
That's great.
All
You
right.
can sponsor us. We'll use.
Close call, but we solved it. We're good.
That wasn't as bad as some of our boilovers have been. That was not bad at all.
All right. Yeah, that one actually, not too bad.
It's been much worse in the past.
Yeah, because we put the whole pack of hops in, it was just like,
It was like literally
it was like
explode.
It's like Mentos in a Dr. Pepper bottle, man.
I know, right? Just boom. It's like, whoa, what happened there?
All right, come on. There we go. Yeah,
That's gonna take off, man.
nice and slow. Trying to achieve a nice rolling boil, and there it is. Turn it down just a bit because you're kind of aggressive.
Still aggressive.
Perfect. I think
Aggressive.
maybe a tad aggressive. There we go.
Aggressive. You're getting bubbles, dude. There should be no bubbles. There should be no bubbles. It should just be moving, turning over. The bottom coming to the top going to the bottom. Downward dog, wart yoga.
Wart yoga.
Stare into the inner wart. Find your soul in the, that's pretty damn good. Maybe a little harsh. It should chill out eventually.
It'll equalize, yeah. That right there, I think is textbook. That is textbook. So, all right.
Yeah, that's good.
Refrigerator's open. Crisis averted.
Yes. Steve, that is not the way to air condition your garage.
No.
It's kind of expensive, and all our beer's getting warm. That
Is a cart.
you know what? Why
That
don't you
is a cardinal sin.
just go ahead, go in, get some paper towels, and get some spray stuff, because right now, your floor is, I don't know why we even brought this bowl out for the muzzle bag. We should just throw it on the floor. Who cares? Just slopping stuff everywhere. Yeah. Little bit of molasses here. High sugar wort there. Spill some beer all over there.
Get some flour while we're at it too.
Yes, man. Let's just start it up. All right. Hey, most professional broadcast this side of the Columbia River. You've been warned. So now we wait. I wonder if he started the timer. Pretty sure he did. He's pretty good about that. Steve is much more, I don't know, process oriented than I am. Like, he pays attention to all that stuff. I just kind of wing it and hope it turns out right. Which, most of the time it does. No spray? Just,
It'll be fine.
it'll be fine. Might as well get that since you're out here.
Yeah, exactly. It just soaks it down pretty well. Oh,
That's not gonna happen.
That's not gonna come out. That's baked.
That's gonna require cleanings. Cleanings.
Some scrubbing W's.
Yep.
So the next one will go in at
Mhm.
30 minutes.
Mhm.
Oh, we're gonna do the same thing again for the other hot packet. So,
What do you mean?
well, here's hot packet 2.
Right?
Technically. Okay, no, we can put 3 and 4 at the same time.
Really?
When we get down to 170, we can do these at the same time. But
That's
with the 2 different kinds of hops though. So
No, I understand that.
I'm gonna keep these in the refrigerator for now.
What are those hops?
They are Summer and IPA, WAIMEA.
You said summer? And he's gone. So we're gonna look it up. So here's one thing that I would really like to learn is to know what the different hops do. Summer hops. Man. Here we go. Hoplist.com. So we're doing the thing that we always used to do where I would just, look what I have. I have all the power of that book.
Oh no, I'm just.
But half
This is a good book.
I have that book, the previous version. It's holding down the spot where the Game of Thrones
This-
book used to set.
This is actually right, which means you can stay there.
I will read it. I promise I will read it.
This
I
is actually the
promise.
previous version. This is
Oh, is that version 1?
no,
First
this is 3rd edition. This is the joy of home brewing.
I thought you gave me the 2nd edition.
I did. Current edition is 4th edition.
Oh,
So
well, I was
my
just saying.
version is older, and I gave you the 2nd edition because the chemistry and stuff's the same.
No,
I think
no,
what changed in the books is maybe some of the technique, but and also the included recipes because this book has tons of recipes in it. Oh, I think our stuff rose up.
yeah, well, you're there. I can see.
Okay.
That's good. You got it.
So this is kind of the quintessential brewing guide for beginners to intermediate folks. There might be some things out there for more advanced folks, but this is what pretty much any brand new brewer should get used as their starting point. But I was gonna look up those hops in there because there's a lot of information on hops and everything else. There's tables.
So it's summer. Summer is the name of these hops.
Summer hops. Yep. is that particular version.
So I've got something here. I'll wait for you.
What did you find? Oh, never mind.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're looking, I'll read. It's not difficult to see how the Australian hops variety, Summer, got its name after experiencing its
Have
sublime,
another beer. Huh? Have another beer.
quiet, I'm reading, sublime and delicate notes of apricot and melon. Others have even noted elements of grass, peach, passion fruit, and citrus. Okay, again. Do you people graze? Anyone out there? Are you out there grazing? It's just like, don't mow the lawn because, honey, I'm gonna go out there and have lunch later, and I'll just take care of it with my mouth. I'll just like the goats and the sheep, just go out there and graze. It's like,
So,
I gotta tell you, sweetie, the grass on the left side of the lawn is much better than the grass on the right side. Is that Kentucky bluegrass? And I think that's tufted fescue over there. Not sure. I better taste some more. Who knows what grass tastes like? I mean, I kind of do because, I've been in enough motorcycle accidents and fallen off enough horses that have kind of ate dirt.
eat some dirt, yeah.
Never fallen off in a barnyard, though, so I still don't know what a barnyard tastes like.
Neither Summer nor Waimea hops are as far as the hop table goes.
Really? Maybe they're new varieties.
They might be a different variety, because this version, third edition that I have, was published, I can tell you exactly when it's published, 2003, so it's pretty dated.
That is dated because I know Citra hops has reached its popularity just in the last few years.
Right.
That's one of the reasons we chose it. It was like a trendy hop. It's like, ooh, Citra hops.
I think the original publication was 1983, if I'm reading this correctly.
Uh-huh.
The version you have, I think, is from 1991. I think is the, second edition published 1981.
It still has a lot of good info in it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. The chemistry and the breakdown of everything doesn't change. A hop is a hop. A hop from 1983 is a hop in 2000, 2020, what year are we in now? 2021.
Is it?
So,
Is it not? Brussels sprouts have
maybe
changed.
some things have evolved, but
Brussels
I mean,
sprouts
overall,
from
it's the same.
1983 are not the same as Brussels sprouts from 2021.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because the Brussels sprout industry, which I find it just weird that there's a Brussels sprout industry,
Didn't know that.
but they actually recognize it's like these things taste bad. We should fix that. And so they did with, crossbreeding and cross-pollination and just, yes, genetic modification, but not like in gene therapy, but like the whole crossbreeding and we'll pollinate this with that and that and that. And now we have a breed of Brussels sprouts that's tasty. I like Brussels sprouts.
Okay.
Okay, so anyways, summer hop. It has subtle flavors of apricot, melon, peach, and grass, which I'm not sure that I want to add.
Grass.
Grass. It says grass. All right, we'll just go with that. Grass.
Go with it.
Apparently, grass is not so offensive as to, a descendant of Saaz, S-A-A-Z, which we know that hops. Summer was created by Hop Products Australia in '97. It's low alpha aroma hop. It can be well utilized late in the boil. It is, however, even better suited to dry hopping, which is kind of what we're doing.
Kind of close to what we're doing.
And it is in this capacity that its apricot and melon bouquet. Okay, let's just stop right there. Listen here, folks. Okay. We brew beer. Can we get this clear? We brew beer.
Not wine.
We're not whinies. We are beerers. Beer bros? Brew bros.
Brewers.
Brewers. We're brewers. The point being, let's take this word bouquet and throw it right out the window. What's another word? It's apricot and melon smells. Odors. It's apricot and melon odors. We brew beer.
Real brewers don't say bouquet.
We don't say bouquet. No more bouquet. We're done with the word bouquet. It's odors, which some people find offensive, but
Flavors.
We're men. We're brew beer. Unless there's a woman who wants to brew beer with us, which is fine, but she can't use the word bouquet.
Bouquet is not allowed.
Unless, I suppose, she asks to use, I'm not going to be mean about it.
No, of course not. We're not going to use it as a first class word though.
So it is in this capacity that its apricot and melon odors really shine.
Aromas, maybe?
Aromas. No, that's still kind of no. I'll go with that. Aromas. Bouquet is just too whiny.
It sounds like wine.
We're not wine
Because
people.
in the wine world, they refer that stuff as a bouquet.
Everything's a bouquet. Those wine people.
We're just
All right.
wine people. I like wine, but I don't make wine, so.
So in any capacity, it is not as spicy as its Czech parent. Aroma. I like aroma. It smells. I'm even good with smells.
It smells good. I can smell
It's
the hops.
apricot and melon smells. I'm good with that. The smells.
Sounds good.
Smells is a noun, isn't it? A smell. You can
A
have
smell.
a smell.
You can have a smell.
So you can have two smells. It's starting to sound ridiculous though.
Let's just move on.
Okay, moving on. Okay, so Malt Shovel Brewery released their Mad Brewer's Garden Paradisi Brew.
Smells good.
Okay, that doesn't matter. Anyway, so there we go. Flavors: apricot, melon, peach, and grass, which I kind of thought.
Grass.
Main purpose.
Wait.
So it's main. What?
Grass.
You be quiet. Its main
1970s
purpose.
grass.
You stop it. Main purpose is aroma. Alpha acid 5.6 to 6.4. And as we've studied before, alpha acids can change with the year and with the time that the hop was grown.
Absolutely true.
Beta acid, which I haven't. Have you heard of beta acid yet?
Yeah, it's actually, I read about it in the book.
Tell me about it.
I don't remember what it said, but it's
Okay. It's very important, obviously. 4.8, 6.1.
I
How about-
think it said you can almost ignore the beta acid stuff.
It's like doesn't have a real big
Yeah.
impact
I
anyway.
mean, I had to review it, but it didn't seem like it was that important to what we're doing here, you know.
How about cohumulone composition?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Country, Australia. Cone size, we don't know. Cone density, we don't know. Seasonal maturity, we don't know. Yield amount,
I just follow the recipe, man. I don't know.
about
Oh,
1,800 pounds per acre.
One day I'll get there.
Total oil composition, 1.4 to 2 milliliters per 100 grams. How about myrcene oil? Humulene oil?
Are these like compounds that are in the?
I have no dude. I didn't just reading this. This is Hops List.
Hops. Okay.
Hopslist.com. Style guide.
45 minutes.
Ale, wheat, Belgian ale, American ale, India Pale Ale. No, I think a lot of this stuff doesn't really matter to us. So anyways, that was summer. What's the other one?
Waimea.
Oh,
Waimea.
as I'm hiccuping over here. Come on. Say again.
Waimea. Waimea. I've heard the name before. I don't know much about it though. It wasn't in the book, so it might be in the 4th edition book. I don't know. But
I'm thinking it's Hawaiian. Because a lot of stuff autofills with Hawaii in it.
probably because of like Waikiki, you know.
That Hops List site was pretty good, so let's go ahead and get that again.
Yeah, you can probably search it on the site itself.
Waimea is a New Zealand dual-use variety, originally bred for high alpha and bittering qualities. So really, it's not an aroma hop, even though that's what we're using it for. Released in 2012, it comes from California Lake Cluster, Fuggle, and Saws. Despite its incredibly high alphas, brewing characteristics of Waimea include some decidedly favorable flavor and aromas of fresh crushed citrus and pine. There you go. Purpose, both a bittering hop and an aroma hop. Wow. Yeah. You want to hear its alpha acids?
Sure.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Are you sitting down?
I'm sitting down.
Indeed, you are. All right. 16 to 19%. Most of them are sitting in the sub 7% range. That's crazy, dude. I mean, not that that means anything to me, to be honest. It's just like, wow.
These guys, these Galaxy hops, man, they're like 18%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Beta acids, which we don't know anything about, 7 to 9%. Cohumulone composition, not listed. Comes from New Zealand. Cone density is compact.
Okay.
Seasonal maturity, mid to late. Growth rate, high. And then a whole bunch of other stuff. Substitutes, Columbus. Let's look at Columbus hops. Now we're just doing the Wikipedia rabbit trail thing about hops. But at least it's interesting. All right. The exact lineage of the proprietary hop Columbus is unknown. Namesake was created in part as the result of a legal dispute between Hop Union and Yakima Chief, when both parties attempted to patent the same hop.
Is it a Washington hop? It's Yakima.
Yakima, it probably is. Yakima Chief's variety was named Tomahawk. After an agreement was reached, both names were registered. They are technically the same hop, however. Okay, so that's amusing, actually. Columbus is sometimes referred to as CTZ, which stands for Columbus, Tomahawk, and Zeus.
Zeus.
Though it is genetically distinct from Zeus, but it is not genetically distinct from Tomahawk. Two people bred the same hop, tried to patent it, and bam. Herbal flavor with a lemon citrus back note. Good for American style ales. All right, so anyways, that's kind of interesting, but that's actually kind of I should probably favorite that site.
Yeah, it seems to be a good place to go when you want to learn about a particular hop, you know.
Yeah. Oh, wait. What's up, hosers? What's up, dude?
Hosers, who is that?
If I get closer to the screen,
We're like,
maybe.
oh, we can't see the screen.
Yeah.
Our monitor.
Bo Adams.
I don't know Bo Adams, but hey, thanks for joining us, Bo.
What's up, Bo? Do we know you? Maybe we do know him.
We do, I know.
That's the problem with the internet. There's
It's
so
funny
many
'cause
names.
We have to
You
ask
whoever
these
you want.
questions because sometimes our friends like to heckle us.
Yes.
And they'll be talking to somebody else, so.
Which is amusing, particularly when we find out and we get revenge on them in the real world. IRL.
Hey, welcome to the show, Bo. So, are you a brewer or are you just passing through? What's going on, man?
Totally good day, man. He says good day, eh? Good day, eh? Nice. Yep.
Are
Brewing beer.
you one of our friends from the north?
Or from the south who's like using the word eh. It's okay to say eh. You don't have to be Canadian to say eh.
I didn't mean like I'm not to assume that. I was just
You're
that's
such
why
a
I asked the
bigot.
question.
No, you're
I never said the word Canadian. I said, are you one of our friends from the north?
and that implied Canada.
Well, but I thought because he said hosers.
True, he did say hosers.
Hosers, and then he's.
Holy crap. Hosers and the word eh.
That's why I thought maybe he's from the north, you know?
Oh, absolutely. You're Canadian, aren't you? No, I'm the bigot.
Yeah, you dig it.
Or he's from Wisconsin.
True. Could be from Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
I got a friend who's moving to Minnesota. I'm like, why are you going to Minnesota? He's like, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just
Literally, that was the conversation. It's like,
well, you know,
I'm moving to Minnesota.
It's
I'm like-
actually a home brewing kind of, you know,
is it a Mecca?
mecca. Yeah, so I was.
Should we go on a
I
pilgrimage?
wasn't sure if I was gonna say Panache or what, but it was kind of a home.
Mecca.
There's a lot of home brewers out of Minnesota too, man. It's pretty it's real popular in that area. So.
Oh, he's in Vegas.
Oh man, we're way off.
Yeah, we were not even close. You're further south than we are. Anyways, but this is important. So Minnesota,
Fly, get out of here.
that's not a fly, it's a wasp.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
That's your swat.
I have to kill it. Anyway.
Dude, wasps are people too. I mean, they're assholes, but and we're allowed to have that. By the way, that only puts us at PG.
Yeah, you were the first one to cuss this time.
I know, but I knew what I was doing. I was
Usually it's
cognizant.
me that drops like an S-bomb or something, you know. I think only one episode I dropped an F-bomb on accident. But that was after like.
But it wasn't in
Or
a
by-
sexual reference,
No,
and
no, it
therefore
wasn't,
that
it
makes
wasn't.
it PG-13.
But it wasn't. It
He
was.
has the rating scales figured out.
But it
He had a
was.
soda.
But it was. But it already been like 5 or 6 beers into it too. So
Yeah, well, that happens.
Yeah.
What are we doing for time, by the way?
we are at 38 minutes.
Yeah, well, so we're both sailors, ex-sailors, like United States Navy, so
Retired.
we know how to use colorful language,
Colorful language.
colorful language. But this is a family show, you know, because Everybody should teach their children how to brew beer.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Don't
I mean,
haven't drank the beer yet, but they should learn how to do it though. Well, when they're old enough, maybe.
what's old enough? I say 6. Dude, beer, it's not just for breakfast anymore. Come on, you
True,
read the history.
true.
You saw the movie, How Beer Saved the World. People were paid in beer. How do you think they fed their children? Beer, dude. It probably wasn't the same beer that we brew. Oh, speaking of, okay, so, all right. Former Navy, sweet, dude. Rock on. Nice.
Cool, man.
Thank you for stopping in, and thank you for your service. Seriously.
Everybody says that too. That's funny.
What's that?
Whenever someone learns that, like, I'm former Navy, they're like, "Oh, thank you for your service." You know?
Well,
Everybody
you
says
know-
that. I mean, that's not just Navy. Anybody who was former military, they get that same thing. But
You know, and it's
Yeah.
okay, man, now we got 2
I know, we're
subtopics
like-
to go splitting off on. But, you know, it's worth it. And it's sometimes weird. You know, I definitely, when people say that to me, thank you for your service, I'm like, thanks for your tax dollars.
I always don't know what to say in return. I'm like, I would say like, "Hey, thanks for your support." Usually, you know.
Yeah, well, that's good. Maybe I'll use that one. Oh, what was I just thinking of? Okay, Navy.
Have another beer.
Oh, dude, it's not having another beer. Come on, help me. You can't help me because you can't see inside my head. Which, by the way, I'm glad for because that's too weird.
Yeah. Well, no.
Middle of the night, Jamie.
Like
Dude, do not do this to me.
some Darth Vader stuff going on there.
There is no trying. There's only
Well, he's trying to get his thoughts collected. I'm going to ask you, Bo, are you drinking a beer right now by chance? What did you say? Fuck off.
I don't know.
Oh, I just said it out loud.
87 and 93, med discharge. Nice. Wow. You got out before we got in.
Yeah, I didn't come in until 95. I
97.
When I went to Great Lakes, and a lot of people refer to it as Great Mistakes now. That wasp is definitely orbiting that white ball, man.
Well, as long as it stays up there, man. A wasp is a wasp. Sweet. Of course he's drinking a beer. To you, sir.
Right?
Oh, man. I need to catch up, and you're running low.
And you will not trick me this time. I'm going to
I
finish
would
mine.
never do that.
I'm going to finish mine right now.
Man, I am so disappointed that I forgot. It would have been a great subtopic. Like, we could have talked about it.
By the way, we have 6 minutes before we need to add our next hot pack. So I'm going to,
6 minutes.
actually, it's right ready. What am I doing? Have another beer. All right.
I don't know. So I only know Great Lakes. By the time I got there, that's all there was left. Orlando was gone. How about you?
Orlando was still a thing. I went to Great Lakes, but then I want to say within like the first year of being, reg nav, not a recruiter or student anymore. I think they closed Orlando down.
Yeah, by the time 97 rolled around, it was only Great Lakes.
Right.
I don't know. It was cold. It was Chicago. I went in February. But
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
from Montana, so it didn't really bother me. What bothered me the most was actually all the excessive clothing they made us wear.
Yeah.
And then you walk into a place that was heated, and it's like, I'm dying here.
Right.
Jeez.
I got there in October of 95, and then I left in December. Right before we did pass review. When we did what's that?
Keep going.
Oh,
Keep talking.
when we did pass and review, that weekend that we were supposed to have Little Bit of Liberty, some huge snowstorm hit. And so they like made us literally wrap a towel around our face as to march between like the chow hall and the ships and all that, This was like, because it was so cold, it got down to like -40. And then like the last day,
Now, I'll give you, -40 is cold.
well,
I mean, that's cold.
after passing review that weekend, if you didn't have family, you didn't get to go anywhere. Other than what they call Ricky Heaven. Remember Ricky Heaven?
Never went there.
But
Ever.
But by Sunday, the temperature had mellowed out enough that you were allowed to go on Liberty. And so the cool thing was one of the guys in my company, his folks were in town, of course, and he was like, "Why don't you come with us?" So I actually got to hang out. The first thing we did was we went to a Denny's. And we're like, coffee, pancakes, eggs, and had real breakfast, man. It was like the first thing we did, yeah.
Is this like a Snickers cheesecake in here?
I don't know. It was made a few weeks ago.
Well, how many weeks?
I really don't know.
Okay.
Maybe
Maybe
you can experiment with it.
No.
I think Lisa made it. The next door neighbor, I think she made that. So.
It looks like
What
a
are you
Snickers.
doing? No,
No,
we're on cake beer.
but we were on.
We did. We just had one of those.
All right, so look over there because he said Arizona was a question mark.
Oh.
Catch up with the comment stream.
I'm not sure what he means by Arizona. Yeah, -40. Yeah, definitely. He said the -40 makes your ball shrink. It's like, yep. Yeah, I'd stuck trying to march in that, to get between the ship and the chow hall, and yeah, it was not fun.
Why are you looking at the computer? Look at the camera.
Because I'm seeing if he has anything else.
Oh,
No. Remember, we're going to switch back and forth between our clone and the actual Mac and Jack.
That's right. I forgot.
You pour your own beer because you imply I sabotage your beer.
We'll pour your beer too. And now you tell him where we went in the world. Because he said, where were you deployed?
Wow. Well, I was originally East Coast, out of Jacksonville, Florida. I was stationed at an AIMD. We were both aviation, and I was attached to the John F. Kennedy. And so I would go out on workups, and then I deployed with John F. Kennedy in '97. After that, I got moved to the Enterprise up in Virginia. And then after that, I got up in Maine for shore duty. And then I deployed on Kitty Hawk, but it was in Japan. That was all Westpac stuff. And then I deployed on Nimitz and the Ronald Reagan. All Westpacs at that point. The only time I did Med cruises was my first tour.
And
How about you?
Pretty much the opposite story.
Oh, okay.
I did all Med cruises.
All Med cruises.
I did one Westpac my whole career.
Yeah, Jamie says he did all Med cruises, but one time he did a Westpac during his career.
Please tell me what a Medpac is. Did you turn the carbonation off or something?
No, it should be about 10 psi.
It just doesn't seem to be pushing. But we're good. Very good.
It should be at 10 psi on there.
Which glass is yours?
Mine's the apocryphal glass.
Apocryphal? Yeah, that's true.
So
It's not apocryphal.
yeah, bubblies.
Apostate, not apocryphal. Apocrypha are the Bible books that aren't.
Well, that's apocrypha, yeah. So no, the carbonation is good. I mean, it's not finished yet, but it's good enough.
Why can't I see it? Maybe it's just the light.
Maybe it's not. I see it. Look, bubblies.
I'm not seeing nothing. Here, you look. Maybe I suck. You see the bubblies?
No. I don't. What is it with you, man?
I don't know, man. What do you do?
I didn't do anything. You poured this time. I'm not seeing the bubbles, man.
Coast of Luzon. Do you know what Luzon is? Luzon? Is that a typo, man?
Is that like
Is that a typo?
Vietnam?
Sorry. I should look. Well, I think it is. Training on the Abe Lincoln off. Oh, the Philippines.
I did do a workup on Lincoln. I never did a full deployment though. I did one workup, but it was home base out of Everett for a while, Everett, Washington. And I went up there and did a workup on the Lincoln. So
You know what's weird? I can't remember all the ships I was on. I was on the Washington. I was on the Carl Vinson.
well, I've done a lot of workups on different ships, but deployment wise, it was only those
And then I was on the USS Incheon.
Stennis. I did Carl Vinson, yeah, but they weren't deployments. They were just small underway periods. You know what I mean?
So I did helos and fixed wings. So I was both on carriers and the flat tops.
So, but were you surface Navy or were you an Airedale? What'd you do? Were you sub? Oh, obviously not sub. If you did maybe you're sub. I don't know. He didn't really specify. Right
Maybe
there.
there's training that can be done.
I know. I was like, he didn't really specify. So, what was your area?
NSW. What is NSW? Naval Surface Warfare? That seems too simplistic.
Yeah, I can't remember, man. It's been so long.
What was your rate?
Yeah,
That would help.
that'll help us a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
tell us your
Throw
rate.
your rate at us.
We'll be able to pinpoint what you did roughly. You know.
I still can't remember the side conversation. It would have been a good one too.
That's all right. We're talking to a fellow veteran, you know. So
Yeah, that's nice.
it kind of took the topic.
Oh, so Buds, class 160. Nice.
Okay. So Underwater demolition, yeah. Oh, special warfare.
Yeah.
Naval special warfare.
Yeah, that's what I caught. I'm gonna go get the chips. I'll be right back.
Get the chips, yeah.
Once upon a time, we tried to make this a professional beer broadcast. But now, it's more like
We
Joe
just have
Rogan
fun.
with beer.
We just have fun. Joe Rogan with beer.
That's what it is. It's Joe Rogan with beer.
Right?
Joe Rogan should put beer in his content.
Okay, time for the second batch of hops. I'm having to do this kind of unorthodox because it's half an ounce of hops we were using in two different instances, and so I had to separate the bag and instead of just having little individual hop packets that we usually have. So we have about 30 minutes left in the boil, by the way.
So, SEAL Team 3, June of '89.
Okay.
I didn't do anything that exciting.
No, not I either.
Oh, wait. You know what? I did throw a whole bunch of SEALs out of a helicopter once.
Yeah, we were doing air crew.
Yes. That's kind of fun. And it's
What were
fun.
they doing, like rappelling down, or what was the thing?
So they didn't actually do fast rope. They actually jumped.
Oh wow.
It was low and slow, but yeah, right out the back. MH-53.
So they jumped in the water?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was training in
Right.
it was in the Gulf of Mexico. It was just training.
No, I never got to do that. There was a few times when I was on the carriers, there'd be a SEAL team on there with us for a deployment, of course. And every now and then I'd see them shooting off the elevators, practicing, the target training. Sometimes they would,
Thank you. Keep going.
sometimes I'd see them do, some other things. But yeah, I mean, there was never any reaction, as you well know. Hardly ever did a special warfare guy talk to an air down. You know what I mean?
Oh, I also got beat up by SEALs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, SEAL school. It was a lot of fun. It was run by SEALs. Like literally beat up. They hit me.
I've heard some stories about. I was never air crew, but I've heard some stories, man.
Actually, the slamming around wasn't too bad. Getting slapped. One guy had to stop. Like literally had to stop. So we're doing the solitary confinement. Balancing the ball on my nose was the hardest. Yeah, it's like we don't have whiskers like real SEALs, and so that's harder. It's harder. So anyhow, I'm in SEER school. I went to SEER school in Maine because I was air crew, so you had to do SEER school. And we did the whole camping trip because the first part was just a camping trip. It's like, holy crap, the Navy's paying me to go camping. This is awesome.
But then I get my ass kicked later.
Yeah.
That was part of the deal.
So that's survival. The camping trip is survival. And then we do evasion.
Right.
Right? Well, the problem with SEER school is you only get to evade for so long. And then you have to get caught because you have to experience resistance.
Right.
And then there's escape, which doesn't really happen. Escape doesn't happen.
I don't know what to do that, but I can imagine they keep it from happening.
So at one point they put us all in cells, and I mean it was like being a POW, man, the whole thing. And so they had a position where you were sitting on the floor with your back against the wall of this cell, which was too short for your average guy to stretch his legs completely out, right? And so there was just no way that you could ever stretch out. You could stand up, but you weren't supposed to stand up. And you had to put your hands like this position. I sucked at it. And so anyways, and they gave us a coffee can, literally a Maxwell House coffee can. To pee in. That's where you had to do your stuff, right? And wait. E&E training. Right. I don't know what E&E training is. You might have to expound on that one. Anyhow, so I'm sitting in there, right? And I had tipped over sideways or something. I was out. So one of the captors, who was a Navy SEAL, right, comes in, and his job is to rough me up, right? So the guy comes out, tries to pick me up, he's gonna throw me around. And I'm sure he was in control at this point. Lost his grip.
Oh.
Fell and knocked over my coffee can all over himself.
Oh.
And I saw this, and I'm tired, and I'm like, yeah, don't laugh at a guy that's just got piss spilled all over him.
Especially at Navy, so he whooped your ass, didn't he?
He did not, but he almost did.
Oh.
Grabbed me, and I'm not a light dude. I'm 200 pounds, and I've been 200 pounds for decades.
Right.
Dude went up to the top of that cell, rotates his knuckles into me, and then suddenly drops me walks out of the room and slams the door. And I guarantee, you know what happened? You know what happened? Say, escape and evade, same training, okay. Well, so I guarantee you know what happened? Is that dude got pissed and he recognized that he was pissed. And he was about to beat me.
He controlled himself.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? We will let someone else torture you today because I am really angry. And I'm glad he did that because I was just tired. I mean, I was a rag doll. Literally, he went up and I was just like,
you're 200 pounds. He picked you up.
He was pissed, dude. He was really pissed. And then the rest of it was fun, you know, getting slammed around. I went to, so I failed soft sell. Yeah, so there's two, you know, some of this is technically classified. Shit,
I was about to say, I know, even though I've never been this year, I know there's aspects of it that are
yeah,
supposed to talk about.
it was like 20 years ago. Mom spaghetti. Oh wait, that's Chase. All right, Chase, mom spaghetti. Good, Chase.
Thanks, Chase.
I weigh a little more than I did, but I always floated between 195 and 205. That's where I was at my whole Navy career. Actually, that's where I was at. How are we doing?
22 minutes.
Right. That's where I was at, like, in high school.
Okay.
I hit like 200 right around my 17th birthday, and I stayed there all the way until pretty much 5 years after retiring. I probably weigh 230 right now. Last time I weighed myself.
Yeah, I weighed myself recently. It was like 205 or something like that. Yeah.
Anyway, SEER school was an interesting experience. I don't know how much of it. They did say, don't talk about this. I think it might have been part of it is because they don't want other people who are going to SEER school to know
what to expect. Yeah, that makes sense, you know.
But I guarantee you it's evolved since then.
Probably.
You know, all training systems evolve. They try and make them better. You know. But yeah, soft sell was the big thing. It's like getting tricked by the nice captain. If I do this,
good cop, bad cop kind of thing.
Yep. And I was really good at getting, because the bad cop, I just say, whatever. He beat me around, and I'm pretty tough, so I'm like bouncing off the cells and his walls and stuff. This dude was big, and he was throwing me around. Bam! I'm like, okay. He actually broke the wall with me. He said that later. He found me after SEER school. He's like, dude, I'm sorry I broke the wall. I was like, that's okay.
Part of the training, man. You know?
I was really hoping to get a few more bruises out of this than I did. Because by the time I went there, they were not allowed to use closed fists anymore. Now, I don't know about... No, not a pilot. Air crewman. I don't want to misrepresent myself. I was an air crewman, so I worked...
Enlisted air crew, yeah.
I worked in the back, but I wasn't a pilot. He still talks. 29 years since he was a frogman. Still talks about training. Yeah.
Well, it probably lives with you the rest of your life, man, I imagine.
Oh, not cool.
Especially with the buds, dude. I mean, obviously I've never been there, but I mean, from what I understand, it's the toughest training in the world. I mean, you probably don't ever forget that, you know?
I was close to there. I saw where they trained.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the weld school.
Oh, okay.
When I became a welder for the Navy, Coronado is where Bud's training is now.
Oh, I see.
And so you could pretty much look.
Right.
Oh, look, there's the training place. We really need to get a bigger screen so we can like see these.
I know. We're all like squinting and, oh, what did he say? You know?
What did he say?
Yeah, because we're so professional. But you know what? I think that makes our broadcast the broadcast. We have fun. We talk.
Oh, yeah.
We talk about whatever. 19 minutes. We brew beer. We drink beer.
I mean, those two things right there kind of put us right above pretty much us. I mean, really, what's Don Lemon got that we don't have? Nothing. We're smart. He doesn't even drink beer on his broadcast. He doesn't. He wears stuffy clothes. He's got to wear a tie. I don't have a tie on. You have a tie on?
I have a hoodie on.
No, I feel good. I'm comfortable. I'm not all stuffed up. Right? I'm good. That poor guy. He can't drink beer on his own show.
That's
Even Tucker Carlson seems like a nice guy. Can I get no? He doesn't wear a tie though.
Yeah.
But still, I don't see him drinking a brewski while he's like talking about whatever he talks about. I don't know. I don't watch Fox News or CNN. That's what happens when you don't have TV.
I don't know if I can trust Fox News or CNN, man. anymore these days.
So you know what? All right, so that's an interesting thing. On a more intelligent note, I read an article, and this article, I forget the author, it doesn't matter, but what this person said was, he said, when it comes to reporting factual news, like this happened, right? So the newsrooms of both CNN and Fox, this guy said, they are fine. It's like, this is the fact, this happened. He said, where problems happen is when you get into the personality programs that they both have. But of course, nobody watches the this is the facts part. They watch Tucker Carlson, or they watch Don Lemon, or they watch Laura, what's her face?
Right, I know you're talking about. I can't remember her name though.
She's on the conservative side. Give me another liberal. Don Lemon.
I don't keep up with it, man.
Oh, that one guy.
The one news agency I'm kind of trusting still, and I haven't been given reason not to, is the Associated Press.
Associated Press is still pretty good.
So, what's he saying over there?
I drowned on a swim during Hell Week.
Oh, shit.
Otherwise, Butts was easy. Ingram, thank you, Laura Ingram. Exactly.
Okay.
Laura Ingram.
Right.
So, but conservative side. And then, there's one guy who really is, this guy's out to lunch. White dude, older, glasses. Not Wolf Blitzer, because Wolf Blitzer is more in the news.
Colbert, maybe, or no?
No, not Colbert. He's comedy. It doesn't matter. He's another CNN guy, and he is very much. He's one of the personalities, right? So he's not news. No, not Shepard. I would have to.
Right.
This guy is very, very biased. I mean, to the point where it's like almost too easy to make fun of him. It's like you've gone beyond opinion, and now you've entered into the realm of just like
Straight up bias, huh?
yeah, you're just biased and idiotic. Might be Shepard. The point being, it's really not important. The point being,
Wolf Blitzer?
no, not Wolf Blitzer. He's more on the news side of things.
Okay.
The point being, and not Jim Acosta either. My point being is that when it comes to the news, like this happened on Tuesday, both agencies are actually good. That's what this article said. He said when CNN in their news capacity says this happened now, it's true.
Pretty legit.
And when Fox News, because they are kind of the two opposing forces in the news
They're
world.
competing, yeah.
And when Fox News comes to just the news, factual stuff, and they say on Tuesday, this happened right here, that's good. He said it's when their personalities take over that Fox goes hardcore right, which I'm using my left hand to do that, hardcore right. Yes, the Jeff guy, exactly.
Okay.
Anyways, so Fox goes hardcore right, CNN goes hardcore left, and that's where the facts get a little squishy, and that's where we interpret things to be kind of the way they are and stuff. How did I get on this?
I mentioned news because I didn't.
Right.
I said I have a hard time trusting the conglomerate.
Oh, right, and you were saying the AP. So the AP is kind of still the standard.
AP and Reuters, I'm still kind of okay with. I mean, I still screen it very critically as I read the article to make sure it's not biased.
The thing is that you look for facts, right?
Yeah.
And when facts, there are filters that you can apply. Like, for example, if they use words like horrible or good or most amazing or absolutely atrocious, then you need to kind of bring up your defenses a little bit, because anytime you use qualifying words,
they're embellishing, yeah.
Right. So it's like horrible tragedy, 15 people died. It's like, even though 15 people dying is generally, yes, that's a horrible tragedy. And I got this from my psychology course, right? Like writing psychology papers, and I have a professor who's really good. You know, he was good, and he was like, that's an emotional term, that's an emotional term, that's an emotional term.
Gotcha.
You need to get rid of those, because we are not talking about, we're not, I don't know why they like you more than me.
Smacking at that thing. I don't think it's so. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. Please continue.
Well, I'm kind of at the end. But the point being is that when it comes to facts is 15 people died. That's bad, right? No, that's a fact. 15 people died. It is neither good nor bad at this point.
Right, it's something that happened, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you're just reporting it, you don't spin it. You know, you just say it just very matter-of-factly. 15
No
people died.
adverbs.
That's right, adjectives.
Both.
Or adverbs.
Yeah, both.
Well, you could use some adverbs. Like if they were in, like say, a train crash, then you could say 15 people died quickly, which is an adverb.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Now we're in grammar. Why are we talking about grammar?
It was my fault. It was my fault. Yeah, don't overdo the adjectives, and definitely don't add unnecessary adverbs.
Well, and the big thing that the psychologist, this guy was talking about was like, you don't make moral judgments in your papers when you're just dealing with factual stuff. It just is, you know?
Right.
20 people won gold medals in the Olympics. It's like, is that good? Well, no, because they were all from Mars and they had ray guns and they killed 45 people while doing it. Was that bad? Well, no, because it's just fact. Is there any good or bad? No, not anymore. It all just is. It's just fact. You interpret it.
Wow, we're really going off on a tangent on this one.
Yeah. Are you sure these beers aren't that strong?
They were only supposed to be like, what, 4.5 or something?
Well, I'm feeling pretty good. Wait, but this is homebrew.
This is a homebrew. Yeah. Yeah. These are. I'm not sure if we told Bo about these. These are Mac and Jack Amber Ale clones we made.
Oh, grab the can.
About 6 weeks ago.
Grab the can.
Here's the original, obviously, the Mac and Jack Amber Ale, which I'm trying to show it. But
that's good. Right there.
But about 8 weeks ago or so, we made our own Mac and Jack clone. We tried to copy it, and that's what we're drinking here. And I think we did pretty good, man. So.
No, this tastes very close. I mean, seriously.
Might be a little bit stronger than what's maybe a little bit stronger. So.
Yeah, there's, until we start actually using the hydrometers and things and measuring our final gravity.
Technical sophistication and stuff. Yeah.
Well, that stuff's all cool, but it's only cool when you're trying to replicate exactly what you did the time.
And that's not what we're trying to do, man.
Or trying to figure out how many 6-packs you can drink and still drive home. The answer is 0. The answer is 0.
We don't condone drinking and driving.
At all. We're bad. We're going to get arrested.
We're so terrible.
They're going to kick us off halves.
Point being is, we made this beer to try to copy this beer.
He says he'll drink the experiment. All right, you need to get in a car and come up north without beer.
Or bring beer.
Bring beer.
And don't drink it while you're driving.
Don't drink it while you're driving because we do not endorse drinking and driving a lot.
Or too much.
Yeah, too much. No, don't drink too much and drive.
I don't think we ever asked, Bo, do you brew, man? Or are you?
Well, I think we did ask, but
sure.
No, we asked Mike, the guy before.
Why? The guy before.
Who called me adorable.
Adorable, yeah. He said, "Hi, sweetie."
Yes.
So
I have my doubts about Mike.
Yeah, I don't know who Mike was.
I mean, he's not wrong in the whole adorable. I am adorable. I'm sorry. I'm also very manly. I'm manly. I'll drop my voice from now.
10 minutes.
10 minutes?
And a half.
10 minutes and a half.
Look at that boil, man. It's a textbook.
That's really good. So 10 minutes and a half, shit. 10 minutes and a half to what?
Then we need to chill it to 170.
So how are we going to do this?
With the wort chiller, which means I need to go get the wort chiller out of the solution. So you're going to have to entertain.
I'm quite certain that Mike is stoned.
I gotta get the wort chiller out of the bucket and get everything ready. So
yeah. Well, actually, you know what?
It's been sanitized the whole time. So
how much time we got left on
10 minutes.
Wait, come back. Sit down. Hey, Bo. Thank you very much for joining. But we are kind of pretty much we broadcast the boil, and then once the boil is over, then we're done because then there's lots of moving. Maybe in the future when we get like more cameras and make this whole setup fancy, then that'll be cool. But right now we really are. We're just having fun. We brew beer, we chat. Occasionally a guy shows up and everything's cool. But today we only have the one camera and things are we are actually like literally going to start physically moving and we won't be able to.
We won't be on camera very much.
Yeah, so. We're going to be in and off. So.
I should go ahead and wrap it up then.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Before you go out that way, I can take care of things here and stuff. So, thank you much for showing up. I noticed that you subscribed. I really appreciate that. Man. We both really appreciate that.
Yeah, we broadcast every 2 weeks unless something comes up like a certain holiday or whatever.
And then we kind of slide left or right if we can,
Yeah. Sometimes like we won't make it the next broadcast Sunday, but we might do it on Monday. So
right.
But if you're subscribed, I'm sure you'll get notifications. So hope to chat with you some more, man.
All right, anchors weigh, fair winds and
Yeah,
following
man.
seas.
Drink
So
to-
hey,
hey, drink to the foam.
drink to the foam, sir. And for those of you watching on the replay, thanks for tuning in. We hope you subscribe too. We hope you enjoy this broadcast. We're just two guys who like beer.
I think you should too.
So, with that said, relax.
Have a homebrew.